planting knowledge like a seed. With patience and kindness, he shows the way, turning clouds of confusion into a sunny day. He's got the wisdom of the real world skies, guiding us higher, helping us realize that flying's not just a dream in the blue. With Forder by your side, you can make it true. Fly with Forder where the knowledge flows, through the winds of wisdom where the passion shows. He's the captain of kindness, the teacher we need, helping every simmer take off and succeed. He speaks in calm tones, steady and clear, breaking down the lessons, erasing the fear. From takeoff to landing, he covers it all. In his virtual cockpit, you'll never feel small. A community's heart, a mentor, a friend, he'll stick by your side till the lessons end. It's more than a game, it's the art of the air, and with Forder's guidance, you'll always get there. Fly with Forder where the knowledge flows, through the winds of wisdom where the passion shows. He's the captain of kindness, the teacher we need, helping every simmer take off and succeed. From the first cold start to a perfect glide, Forder's dedication is our joy and pride. In every stream there's magic to find, a passion for flying and a heart so kind. Fly with Forder where the knowledge flows, through the winds of wisdom where the passion shows. He's the captain of kindness, the teacher we need, helping every simmer take off and succeed. So here's the Forder, our guide in the air, a pilot of patience with a heart that cares. With every new lesson, our dreams take flight. Flying with Forder, we reach new heights.
Hey, welcome between Christmas and New Year's. How's everybody in chat? In both chat on Twitch and chat on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. And look who we have here today.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Look, Brian's in the house. And
yeah, this is fun.
You're really quiet, Howard, on stream.
Says, I'm really quiet. Oh,
just
I haven't adjusted a thing. Okay, let's have a look at that. Check. 1, 2. Check. Yeah, look at that. What's with that? Yeah, I can see
that is a much more dignified approach to what I was going to do, which is just start yelling.
Yeah.
To solve the problem.
The buck stops here. We were just talking about that. The buck stops here. So let me just. Where is my volume? It's my microphone.
Yeah, Brian's okay, but
testing 1, 2, 3. There it is.
Oh, way loud there, Howard.
That's my normal volume now. Check.
Yeah, I can turn me down.
No, got to be there.
No, Brian, Brian, you were fine on stream, so
we got it. We got it. You know what it is, you guys? I record videos. I was working on a video yesterday, and I turn off my mic to make sure that any clicks or noises from the studio don't come onto a video. And I left the volume down at 0, and it was still coming through. Mike's in the house too. Look at that. And you guys, in chat, you'll see a tag, SayIntentions.ai. That's Brian. That's Brian right here, right above me here. And now that I've got a voice on the stream, I'm going to say, welcome, Brian. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here.
Thanks. Yeah, we did it. Glad to be here. I love your stream. You're always so nice to me.
Well, look at the stuff you do. You know what I mean? That's just our nature, Brian. That's our nature. And it is true, you guys. Brian said, I'll come on your stream anytime. And it's, it's a great environment. We get to see what's going on, and we get to hear even things that are in the works or not even out yet. Maybe you'll tell us some secrets.
I tend to overshare with you, don't I?
He does overshare.
I overshare with you.
And I got my fingers crossed right now while we're talking, and I'm hoping the overshare thing's going to happen again. The magic of Christmas, right?
We'll see what happens. That's right.
And you got lots of people in chat who know who you are and saying, hey. And so I also wanted to share it on YouTube also because we've got a community there that wants to see what's going on too. More up to date than just a video, right?
And I'm not sure if Mike is a spy for Brian or if Mike is a spy for Howard. But Mike has changed his icon in Discord to Team SayIntentions.
Oh yes.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It was Team ForderLearnToFly, but you got to make a decision.
It's a 50-50,
And it's a good
hey,
one.
Mike.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Good.
And we welcome Mike also. A lot of you know Mike. He comes with us on our group flies a lot, and we've also seen his panel that he flies with that he bought at FS Expo, and we see his screens that he shares. And so hopefully we'll be able to do that too. If there's something that Mike's doing on his system tonight while we're doing this tonight live, then we'll switch over to Mike's screen.
And in full disclosure, Mike's been awesome for us. He helps us a lot behind the scenes at SayIntentions. So yeah, he deserves to have that SayIntentions tag next to his name. No question about it.
Thank you. It's an honor.
That is cool. Yeah. And so what I want to do, Mike, is at some point I want to grab your SRT that's coming in and make sure that fits. I'm
sending now.
I'm looking to see it. But anyway, we'll do that as we go along. As we get talking about things, I'll find it and put it in. Because it's a special overlay, you guys, that's why I need to go find it. In our normal main screen for Group Fly, I already have Mike in there. I can use my Stream Deck to just lock them in. But today I'll have to lock them in and shrink them down to the screen that we have. So that'll be great. We'll make that happen. So one of the reasons I invited Brian onto the stream, you guys, and I was hoping he could come soon because there's lots of things happening and we want to discover these things. And one of the reasons I asked him on was just to first of all, look at the new feature. Hopefully we can unveil that, Brian. It depends on what you want to do tonight.
No, we can talk about it.
The SkyOps thing is just so exciting to see that going on. And then
which version of SkyOps? Every time I look on Discord, it's like, oh, there's another one.
There's another one, yeah. And for those of you who are in YouTube live right now, that other voice you're hearing is Andrew, my co-host. So some of you may not have heard him before, but you're hearing voices coming out of the stream going, who are these people? So Brian's in the main window there. He's our main guest and an important person. And Andrew and Mike are both important people too, but they're going to be on voice only. So that's when you'll hear the two of them coming in on voice. So and they'll type in chat too when they need to. So that's great. And those of you who are in the YouTube chat right now, say hi. That's what we do. We interact. And that's what I love about the chat part. You might not be able to speak, but you could certainly type things in. And as we go through the session this evening, ask any questions you want. If there's something that the 3 or 4 of us can't even answer, then we'll get back to you. All right. And we'll probably get back to you through a direct message on Discord is the best way to do it. And so ask away, and we'll be honest with you and let you know if there's something that stumps us. But okay, and so Brian,
which is most
that's you
things.
There. Message. Okay, I'm just seeing what it says there. So you are in YouTube.
I'm jumping on the YouTube side, but I'm switching accounts. So I've got my.
And there's Mike Audio there also.
There
that's
we
cool.
go.
Mike's a moderator on our YouTube too, so that's what the little wrench is there. Yeah, that's cool. And Say Intentions is in both chats now. That's great. So, hi everybody, and now that we've got all of the logistics sorted out, let's get on with it. And this is the logo that you'll find on the Say Intentions site. It's so cute. It's got the Santa hat on there, and I just had to borrow it, Brian, without even prior permission. So,
that's the mark of quality right there, Howard. That's a quality brand.
That's a quality brand right there. That's so cool. And this, I don't know if you can see the scene behind here, Brian. That scene behind there is not a photograph. The giveaway is at the bottom of the screen where it says Toggle EFB. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually right out of Flight Simulator 2024. Our group fly last Saturday. We're walking down the mountain. We got out of our airplanes, walked down the mountainside to the water, and started a parallel 42 campsite. And I just could not help but take more pictures. Like, holy moly, this stuff looks so good.
So I'm not the only one that does this or you're not the only one that does this, because I was doing something similar with a group. A couple of our admins, we were flying helicopters through the mountains, just like this. And, we landed and I started taking pictures, right? Just like you did. Like, this is so cool. Started taking pictures. And all of a sudden it hit me like the absurdity of what I was doing.
Yeah. And if you tell somebody, we got out of the plane and we took pictures. What? Where are you? What were you doing?
And like explaining to myself, I'm taking pictures of a fake world inside of my fake simulation, but I wanted photos to remember it by. I was like, what am I doing? How real is this thing getting?
So it is it's certainly a compliment to the scenery developers who made the sim.
Big time.
And everybody in chat, in both our chats right now, everybody knows there's certainly a bunch of big hiccups in the sim, but they've certainly got the scenery correct. Holy moly! And you were also in the Grand Canyon for the technical preview, right, Brian? Were you there for that, or did you make it? You didn't make it, because we were all there different days, so I don't know who made it there. And we couldn't even tell anybody about it, so I couldn't check with you to see if you're going. But, when we were there, we actually had, a real helicopter ride over Grand Canyon. And to get to the Grand Canyon edge, the southern rim, we had to go over a bunch of forest. And when I did it here in the sim, it's the same exact kind of trees. And if you fly over to Phoenix, Arizona, it's the same kind of cactuses. And that part of the sim is like, okay, they nailed that. Wherever we are in the world, it really does match. And it's like, well, that's one promise that came through. That's nice. Yeah. And so this is the result of it, when you get to see breathtaking views like this that look pretty real. Yeah, that's for sure. Quick, grab your phone, take a picture. Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the idea that it's so good that, and like I said, it's so good we feel compelled to take a photo. Right. That knee-jerk reaction where you see something cool and you reach for your phone is in there, and that's incredible.
It really is, yeah. So for those who don't know, and I'm sure there's going to be some, Brian, I know that most of my community knows about your product. Most of them probably own it and have a subscription. But for those who don't know, everybody, SayIntentions.ai is the website you go to, and we'll show that on screen in a minute. And this is an ATC that is available 24/7. Look at the labels I've got at the top of our overlay, you guys. So 24/7, anytime you feel like it, anytime, no matter what your schedule is, you've got voices available to help you with your flights. And that part alone, Brian, was the part that captured Andrew and I when we first discovered your product and we saw it in its first makings when it was really new. And you were working on it at the start, and I really loved your story about how you started doing this kind of project. But
Yeah.
what really blew me away was the fact that you didn't just stop there. You know, you've got full IFR and VFR now. You didn't
Well,
just stop at that and say, "There's the product. We're done, and we'll send you some updates once in a blue moon." You went on and added so much stuff, and that's what I'm hoping tonight we can unveil, or at least talk briefly about each of those areas, so people know how full this product is. Right?
Well, just as a remembrance from when our first time online, and Brian, you were with us that day. You hadn't even released it live to the general public yet. We were still on the beta test and whatnot. And I'm tempted to say I may have been one of the very first people to ask for flight following live because you weren't sure it was going to work. I said, okay, let's try it.
That was so new, right? I mean, when anything's in beta, you don't know, right? And it does make you nervous, right? And you were worried about it, right? And Andrew
Worried
did it,
doesn't
and it
even
worked.
begin to describe it. What you guys did to me early on, because you showed it off before it was done.
Yeah.
Before we were taking money, before anybody was really using it. It's in Howard. Do you know your user ID? By the way, this is actually kind of cool. Howard, your user ID is 32.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now
32.
that's significant because the user IDs they used to be assigned sequentially, meaning you were the 32nd person to sign up for an account, and we were up to a couple hundred before we started taking money.
Wow.
So you probably got in within the first day or two of our early beta.
Yeah.
That's
I remember
really
ringing it
cool.
out too, and super enthused about it. And this is why we've had you on stream. So this isn't your first appearance. We're going to say a repeat performance appearance by Brian. That's what I should say when I introduce you. Right?
Yeah.
He's back, and it's bigger, and it's better.
It is bigger. It is better. And by the way, we talk a lot about our price and stuff, subscription model. We've lowered our price since it launched and all that other stuff. But the one big thing that I like to point out as it relates to, a subscription price, and nobody likes it. I don't like it. But two things. One, this platform is eye-wateringly expensive to operate. And therefore we can kind of have to charge the subscription because we pay usage-based fees. Therefore, we have to sort of pass that along. But second, and this is the really important thing to remember, the counterpoint to that is I have to win your business every single month, right? Every single month I've got to earn another. Now we're actually at a point where it's right around $15 a month if you pay annually. But yeah, every single month I've got to earn that again. And the only way that we can do that is by continuing to improve it, continuing to make it better. So that money gets reinvested directly into the product, and we continue to push the envelope. We continue to do things that nobody else is doing. And I'm really proud of the fact that we continue to do things with AI that are turning heads in other industries, right? I now get a lot of interest from other people who say, what is it you're doing over there? And can you bring it over here? We're not, by the way, we're very focused on what we're doing here, but that's how revolutionary this is. And that's how it's just fun that we get to do it with Flight Sim first. And this, because for me, this is a lot more fun than a normal day job.
It's a lot of work, and for what you've been doing it seems like years. What you've been doing for, is it a year? Is it a year and a half? I don't even know, right?
I've got my
it's jumped so high.
I've got my portal open right now on my browser. My membership total days 377.
Hey,
so
wow,
it's over.
good.
So it's over a year.
So I had no idea, because it seemed like it's been around for a long time. It seemed like with all almost every day, or for a while there, every second day, there was a new update for the client for us to download, right? So it seems like, wow, that's like, it's got to be 2 years old, right?
No. we start. You're not far off in terms of how long it's been under development. But it was October 2023 when I put out just a little tiny post on Reddit saying, and a little demo video said, look, this is what we're building. again, October 2023. I'm looking for a handful of people that can help us test this, which you must have replied to in some way, or you wouldn't have that a 32 on your user ID. So officially, we've been, in beta. Like I said, it was mid-October when we launched in beta. So that'd be a year and a quarter. But our official birthday of when we started taking money is January 15th. So that's coming up here shortly. That's the one we're really focused on. So 1 year.
That's your anniversary. Yeah, that's cool. Well, and the interest with me, Brian, as you know, because we've had some conversations here, I've written courses many years ago in FSX, in X-Plane, and, obviously the different sims around over the years. And in those flight courses, there's obviously an ATC module. There's obviously learning the phonetic alphabet and all the rest of that that's really needed when you learn to fly. And I've always had troubles trying to find samples. I've had to record my samples and just do role playing on a microphone and say, here's what you would say, and here's what ATC would say afterwards, and here's the phraseology, and then write it out, and and then have them do an exercise on. And it was such a hard thing. And as soon as this evolved, like I've been a Pilot Edge subscriber for years. Pilot Edge is a premium subscription that's only available certain hours. Excellent product. And I had that for years, but still I could only use it at certain hours and only on the West Coast. And it cost a lot of money. And so, that's what I was using. Then also there's VATSIM, and everybody will talk about VATSIM, but your tower's not available, go higher. And I finally end up with somebody. And so I was using that also. And then I would tell my students, VATSIM is a starting way to go because it's free, but if you want to go premium, go with Pilot Edge. And all of a sudden your product comes out and I'm going, wait a second, 24/7? This is the answer, because the students on my Udemy courses, Brian, they're all over the world. They'll be tuning in different times. I can't just have a live stream like this and expect them to show up at 3 a.m. So,
sure.
So now I'm looking at this going, and that was my big, light bulb moment. Wait a second, all my students could use this. Wait a second, my Twitch channel could use this. Wait a second, I had this moment, like this epiphany where I just this is the product we're after. So that's how it evolved, right? I was like, this is awesome, because it really fit a need that I had, right? And that's where it started for me. Yeah.
I'm glad we have it working a little better than it did back then. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, you were on pins and needles a few times. Yeah.
I always am when you show our stuff, because you tend to show the cutting edge versions of things that we're working on, and SkyOps today is no exception to that, by the way. We're going to show some stuff. We're going to show some stuff that'll have me again cringing and hoping that it all works right.
Hoping that it works, yeah.
But you mentioned VATSIM, you mentioned Pilot Edge. I want to just be very clear. I love both of those services, like, a lot.
Right.
And if either of them were 24/7 at every airport, there's no way we would have ever started this thing, right? I would have looked at it and said, well, there it is. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And the only reason we use AI is because there aren't enough humans to go around, right? We just don't have enough. So we're really trying to act as a subsidy to those services rather than trying to replace them, right?
Right.
I love VATSIM. I love the mission that they have. I love their volunteers and the incredible system they build. Iveo, same thing. We have some really cool integration with VATSIM that I'd love to chat about a little bit. It's really neat.
Right. So this tag you see right here in front of me, it says compatible with all ATC add-ons. Maybe that you can speak about that. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's exactly what we're talking about, is if you've got another ATC add-on that you like, and that you use, whether that's VATSIM or Pilot Edge or P to ATC or whatever it happens to be, FS HUD, bring it. And we've got lots of stuff that's going to work alongside that. And this is where we have our tour guides and our mentors and our cabin crews and ground ops and pushback and all this other cool stuff. And so if you don't want us for ATC, great. Come use us for all the other cool stuff that we have. And it is true. We got some really cool stuff. So
look at Mike. Yay, go Janet. and you guys, you see the note that Mike's made in chat there. YouTube doesn't get to see it, but Mike says in chat then, and you don't have to worry about speaking to a real human when getting over knowledge fright or mic fright. Yeah. And this is one of the big selling points that I talk about when I talk about it to my students, when the students want to practice somewhere and they just don't want to push that mic button. In a real flight, everybody, in a real flight, and I come from that background, I still rent Cessna 172s. The instructor would always say to me, when I was a student pilot back in the 90s, he would say to me, what are you going to say on the microphone? And without pressing the microphone button, I would walk through it, where I am and what altitude I'm at, I don't know. And the instructor would just get on and say, okay, I'll just have a listen. And the instructor would do it. And then now the next time we have to make a call, the instructor would say, I want you to do the next call. And that's when your palms start to sweat. That's when you start, well, wait a second, hold on, I'm not ready for it. And this is where this anxiety that Mike's talking about, knowledge fright or mic fright, comes in, because it's pushing the microphone button and actually saying something. And after you let go of the microphone button, if you do let go of it, because you're so stressed you forget to let go of the microphone button, you breathe this big sigh of relief, and now you're not flying the plane anymore. I mean, this does happen in real life, you guys. It happens for sure. And this is a great way, with ATC being an AI, it's a great way to say, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake. It doesn't matter if I miss something. Nobody's rolling their eyes or saying, geesh, who is this guy? And we'll take his name down and talk to him later. And this is a cool thing about having an AI ATC, is that just say it. And if there's something missing, they'll ask for it. It is actually, well, that's cool. And it really does make people relax and say, this isn't so bad. And it really helps a lot. So I think that's a huge factor. And I'm glad Mike posted that in chat, because that's a good point.
I think it's I have my own stories that match yours. In fact, mine's interesting as well. I will mention it because it was definitely something that inspired, sort of the origin of the product. I want to circle back to the VATSIM thing though, so don't let me forget that.
Okay.
But when I started flying, I was in a 172, and I was flying out of Salt Lake International. This was back in the days when they didn't, look down upon GA flights in and out of a Class Bravo airspaces. And I remember, first of all, Class B comms are not what I would call simple. Right. There's a learning curve there that goes along with that. And I remember my instructor was insistent, for better or for worse, for right or for wrong, I don't know, but he was insistent that I handle all of the comms from the very beginning in and out of that Class Bravo airspace. And I got to tell you, it created a situation for me where I was so scared and so like trying to sort out what I was going to say, or what they might say to me. Like my brain's going through, what if they say this, and what if they say this, and what am I going to do if they say this? And I was no longer flying the airplane. Right. It created, in my opinion, if I didn't have an instructor next to me, it created a very dangerous situation. Very dangerous.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I can't count the number of times that I caught myself in that situation, but the pressure from my instructor kind of was driving that, right? Where I really wanted to make sure that I had it right. I didn't want to sound like an idiot. And he kind of took it, probably with the more appropriate attitude, which is, well, so what happens if you get it wrong? Right. So what if you stumble while you're talking to a real air traffic controller? What difference does it make? But it's very hard to get a student to just sort of agree with that sentiment, right? You want to sound like the cool pilot on the mic. So, and by the way, our origin story goes back to actually, my dad, and he loves the idea of air traffic control in his flight simulator, right? That's like part of flying, is talking to air traffic control. But he won't use, Pilot Edge or VATSIM or any of those. Just same reason, right? Just that pressure of knowing there's a human on the other end is just too much.
Right.
And that's a lot of people. And so this was built with the idea of, so what if you get it wrong? So what if you say the wrong thing? It should respond the way a real air traffic controller would. If you call for your takeoff clearance wrong, that's fine. Nobody cares. They'll still give you your takeoff clearance. Unless something's egregiously wrong with it, and then they'll correct you. And we've really tried to model that, as closely as possible. But it's really important, and I want to make this very clear, that we've also done everything we can to make sure that we're working with those human-based networks. I don't have any illusions that we're better than VATSIM, right? We're not. A human-based network will always be better than what we can create with AI. And so, we've taken this approach of, look, if you want to bring all of the other cool things that we have and use someone else's ATC, VATSIM's the perfect example, right? there's a little button in our app now where you can turn off ATC. Just click it. ATC goes off, but all the other features remain. So you still have your tour guide, you still have your mentor. If you're into tube liners, you still have your cabin crew, et cetera, et cetera.
Cool.
And then we also designed a really cool feature with VATSIM, where as you're departing an airspace that has coverage, at a certain point, the controller will turn you over to Unicom, right? They'll say contact or switch to Unicom 122.8, and that's the point where they're saying you're leaving the coverage area, you're on your own. Once you do that with our stuff now, as soon as you tune to 122.8, one of our controllers will reach out to you and say, contact Atlanta Center on such and such and such, right? And then you do, and your flight just continues. You keep the same squawk code, you keep the same flight plan. Our ATC just picks up right where they left off. It's extremely cool.
That is cool. That is cool. Now, I want to mention, because you're talking about, you mentioned, first of all, you mentioned Class B airspace, right? So, I mean, there are some who are in chat who don't know the different airspaces, and that's fine. That's how all of us started out with. What does that mean? Class Bravo, Class Charlie, whatever. And there are some who don't know the phonetic alphabet either. So these are part of the stumbling blocks of learning to talk on radios. And whether it be marine radios, which I also do when I'm sailing, or whether it be air radios in the air band, we all have to know the phonetic alphabet first. And then it becomes this language that excludes the majority of the public, because they're listening going, I have no clue what he just said, but it sounded great. So Brian has put together on his website, and I think it's in the pilot portal, where you have the beginners, I call it the beginner series, where we bring people up to a point where they understand at least the difference between a Bravo airspace and a Charlie airspace, and what could be different in ATC communication. And I think that's very important that you brought those out. Originally, I was going to offer, I think I did offer to help you make those, but you did such a great job of it. I just sat back and said, he's got this. I don't know how you did it all. You did the development work, plus you did the videos, so I was pretty amazed. But I think that's a good starting point for anybody who's venturing in here and still hesitant, because there are so many speed bumps along the way when you're first learning. And this is a great way to do it, because first, he's got the videos to help you understand what you should be saying. And then secondly, you've got tour guides, you've got mentors, and I think the mentor thing, not because
underrated.
I was lucky that I became one. I feel very honored, but I'm not mentioning it because I became a mentor on your system. But you can pick any other mentor. But the point is that mentor can help you with anything you want to ask, and that underrated is the right word for it. That part we definitely have to show that, right? As we're going to start demoing some stuff tonight, right? So. That is just an amazing part that beginners are going to love. And the example. Go ahead.
Remember how we talked about oversharing?
Right.
I have something related to mentors that I'll overshare with you.
That you overshare, okay.
When we get there. This is new. This is new, and I'm super proud of it, and it's amazing.
This is what we're hoping for, Brian. You see, I'm just hoping you'll be relaxed enough to say stuff and then go, whoops, I wasn't supposed to say that. And then there's one valuable stream, right?
Drink? Just a good stiff drink next to me. So.
That's right. So the video series, let me think if they're right here or if they're in the pilot portal. I just can't remember if I think they're probably in the pilot portal here. And I think they're under... I can't, I just see it when I'm in there, and so I don't know whether I'm actually logged in or not. But I think you have to already have a subscription to be able to get at them.
You do, yeah.
That would be probably
okay. Can I just say right here? Remember we talked about how we show stuff and I cringe.
Right,
ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at world's worst graphic designer, me. So here it is.
Why do you say that?
This website it's high on my list to get it redone here a little bit. So.
I didn't see any problem with it at all. People I'm clicking on a page, Brian, and it's giving me what I'm after.
That's true.
Nice your homepage. There's a lot of good stuff on this website, and I'm just saying, I didn't even think for a second that it needs work. I don't know if anyone else has ever felt that way, but maybe we need some feedback from chat to let you know that this is what we're after, and it's in front of my face. And I'm a technical guy, so I guess for me that's all I'm after. But
so
I love it.
Go back to the pilot portal. This is more like for support and FAQ stuff. We do have a getting started section that is kind of interesting. So if you'll flip back to the pilot portal,
So
I can
let's just
show
go
you.
to here, and then that's still that. Okay.
That's our little
Back to here.
FAQ thing. I don't know. That's our support home. It opened a new tab, so you've got
Yeah,
a tab
so like
at the
that.
top
So
there.
starting from here, and I don't think I'm giving
Yeah,
any
we'll
of
start
my
from
own
there.
account stuff away. So
No,
that's
I
good.
think your
Yep.
email might have been there, but that's okay. And then on the left-hand side, click the, I don't remember, Learning Center or Knowledge Base. It's got to be Learning Center, right? Is that what you clicked on before?
Yeah, right
Yeah,
here.
Learning Center is the
Yeah,
courses.
that's where it is. Yeah, Learning Center.
Okay.
And right from the beginning, getting started, your first flight, your second flight. I mean, this is wonderful, right? And then what I really like to see this was the Class Delta arrivals, Class Bravo departures. I mean, this is stuff that you'd pay a course on Sporties just to have this kind of stuff, and it's just all here. It's like, whew. And it doesn't mean there's 1,000 videos, but there's stuff here that I'm so confident now. I'm going to go try this. And there's
Yeah.
no human being there saying, "Where'd you learn that?" You know what I mean?
Well,
I don't know if you'd ever get that reaction, but you can almost tell in their reflection of their voice sometimes is like, "Whoops, I'm sure I said something wrong," by the reaction of that
Yeah.
ATC guy, right? It does happen, right? They try to
Yeah,
stay
but-
objective, but
They know what a student pilot is too, and they deal with them all the time. And I don't think it's as big a deal as people think. But yeah, everybody feels like they're being judged, and it's tough. But one of the coolest things about this, what you're looking at here, is the stuff on the bottom is actually not our content. This is stuff that I just found on YouTube.
oh, I see. Okay,
And
yeah,
but the stuff at the top is ours. Your first flight, your second flight, I did those.
right.
But the reason that it's interesting that that's stuff from YouTube and not our content is because that's training material geared at real world pilots down below.
Right.
And in my opinion, that demonstrates, what we're really doing here means that it all translates back and forth, right? Everything you learn while you're using our stuff works in the real world and vice versa. I finally, we struggled so much with getting people to understand how flight followings work. I had to go out and find a video on how they work in real life and pull that in and say, this is how it goes. This is what you do. And like I said, the cool thing is if you call for it wrong, that's okay. That's, nobody makes fun of you. As
Right.
much as it would be fun to make the AI do that, we've opted not to do that.
You could have, right? Well, as Mike says, Janet can be a little salty at times, right? But that's entertainment, right? I mean,
Fun. Yeah, that's part of the entertainment value. I make no promises that Janet is not going to make fun of your flying. She does.
and you can always just pick another person. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
That's right.
that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Now, you did say to make sure we circle back to VATSIM. Do you want to do that now before we get into the demos?
No,
and-
I did get to do it because I wanted
Okay.
to mention the VATSIM handoffs. I wanted to mention that, we have a lot of customers who fly with our stuff on while they're on the VATSIM network, but they'll turn off the little ATC button. So yeah, we're built now. We weren't always built this way, but now we're well built to work with VATSIM rather than in conflict with VATSIM. And I think that that's an important thing. Allows you to mix and match.
Right. Okay. I thought I clicked something because I was over on the YouTube chat area, and then all of a sudden it went silent. I hope it's still streaming. I can't see it. All right. So just let me know if the YouTube part is still working, you guys, because I was trying to see how many users were in chat, and anyway, so let's go over to some of the. I think what we'll do is we'll go over to some of the newer stuff, or even start with the SkyOps if we can, and then
Yeah, let's start with
the
SkyOps.
last time you were here, Brian, we actually went through a complete demo from start. I opened up the client, I showed everybody the tabs, and we got things rolling, and then we started using it. And this one we won't waste the whole evening with that. We'll just jump into some of the more advanced things. But for those who are new, just you have to, once you've got your subscription, you have to download the client, and the client then configure it with your account information and all of the details that you want. Now, I think the last time we were here, though, I didn't go through the whole how to select a mentor. I don't know if we did all that.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
could
something
show
that we could show that just as a starting point.
I think it's a good starting point, and it'll also let me explain a little bit about our philosophy of being more than ATC, because I think this demonstrates that really nicely. Do you want me to talk about the intercom concept here while you pull it
Yeah,
up?
you're right. Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. So at a certain point, we decided that it would be interesting because we've already got, this really, really amazing engine. By the way, I would love if you got a second to show what's on the screen right there, right behind your settings, which is
Okay.
the mention of Challenge Air. Can I self-indulge for 10 seconds to talk about our the charity we're supporting for the holidays?
You can talk about anything.
Is
you
that
want,
okay?
Brian.
Because you can tell me not to.
You're the guest on the stream. and you
Self indulge as much as you want, Brian.
All right.
We love it.
We decided that for the holiday season, we wanted to sponsor a charity. And if your listeners are interested in, getting involved in this, I would love to have you come to either our website or directly to theirs to support these guys. The company is called Challenge Air, and they've been around as a charity for 20 plus years. They've been around a long time. And I want to mention as well, this is not one of those top heavy charities where all of the people who work there make lots of money and there's no money left at the end for the actual charity part. They're very thin in terms of staffing. But what they do is they go around the country and they do these full day events for special needs kids, where they bring the kids in and they take them up for a flight. It's the instructor and a kid in the pilot seat, special needs kid in the pilot seat, and they let them fly the airplane, as realistically as possible, with the idea of, when that kid lands, you basically say, if you can fly an airplane, which you did, what else can you do? And they've been doing this now for, like I said, 20 years. These full day events, they get donations for, the pilots donate their time. There's lots of planes that they get donated for the use of, but they still cost them, I think they told me $20,000 to $30,000 per event that they do. They'd get hundreds and hundreds of these kids in there, and so you can imagine, the cost that goes along with that. We decided that at SayIntentions that we wanted to support these guys this year. We've raised, I think I can confidently say we're well over $2,000 in donations for them so far. If that's interesting to you, we decided to sell a holiday ornament, Christmas ornament. It's got they're individually numbered on the back. $10 on our website. 100% of that goes to the charity. So the materials and the time to make these and all that stuff was donated, and $10 we send all $10 to the charity. And if you don't want to do that, you can go to our website and make a donation directly at SayIntentions.ai/charity. Really easy.
Super.
Or you can go directly to the Challenge Air website and just make a donation there too. So thank you for letting me do that. I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you I was going to do that, but I saw it flash on the screen, and I had to make a comment. So thanks.
No, there's not a problem with that. Never apologize for that, Brian. This is cool what you're doing. That's a great cause. This does change, but I think maybe now it's stuck because my flight's in active pause, so it's in active pause. But I thought this was, while it's live, this keeps changing with some things that are in there, right? Yeah.
Unless there's an error, in which case we keep it where you can see what's going on. But yeah, you've got a flight that's paused, so it's going to show that, which is fine. It's no problem. We use that just to rotate messages through. We put funny quotes in there, just silly things like that. So the intercom, now that we can get back on,
Right.
back on topic
So do you want
here,
do you want in the
apologize.
settings to show the intercom settings, or did you want to?
Yeah, please pull it up. Go to that intercom tab. We like to simulate this idea of not just being able to talk to people on the radio, COM 1 and COM 2, but also the idea that there might be people in the airplane with you. So we came up with this concept of leveraging, in a small airplane, the intercom, and we allow you to put two different passengers in your airplane. So we have an intercom channel 1 and an intercom channel 2. I know in the real world it's the same thing. Just bear with me here, so we can keep the comms separated. But you can choose between all kinds of different people that you want maybe in the right seat next to you. And if you click on that passenger thing where it says SkyOps, you can choose to have a co-pilot there. You can choose to put a mentor next to you. You can choose a tour guide, and SkyOps is in the list now, which we're going to do. Oh, you have access to a new feature we haven't done anything officially with, but First Flight is private. I'll just mention that, but
Okay.
sign of things to come, possibly. It's okay. I don't mind people knowing that there's something there, but that'll be sort of a guided First Flight where you've got an AI next to you guiding you through
Wow.
all of these concepts. It's going to be really neat. Yeah.
Wow,
and
cool.
Howard, maybe we'll use your voice for that.
Wow.
It would be really cool. So yeah, you can choose the tour guide, the mentor, the cabin crew, SkyOps mission. SkyOps, by the way, puts the rescue crew in your airplane. And then on the right side, with each of these, there's a whole list of, people, personalities that you can bring in. So if you want to bring in a mentor, maybe we can show the mentor. You can choose from a couple of different people. If you want to bring in a cabin crew, I think we've got like 30 cabin crews now if you're into the big airliners. Mentors, there's a whole bunch there. And one of the mentors happens to be, who is it? Is it Howard? Yes. Howard Forder in the list.
I'm in the list. I'm right there. That Howard guy.
There
Who's
he
that
is.
guy right there? Yeah.
Told you guys this guy was legit. Yeah. Now the mentors are...
Mike's
The
been
mentors
using
are
that, Brian. Sorry, I was going to mention. Mike's been using this on our Saturday night group fly, right? All of a sudden he'll say, Howard told me I should be turning right now, or something like that. And I'm going, and at first I'm not tuning into what he's saying. I'm going, what? And then I realize he's got, me as the mentor. But you guys, it could be any of these on the list. It depends on the flavor of the mentor that you want. And you can see that Brian's put in brackets what kind of flavor you'll get of that kind of mentor.
Yes.
Like it says two-tone Murphy, funny, right? And two-tone's in a lot of these areas, so I think almost any of the passenger areas you could probably get two-tone in there.
I actually just looked at my intercom stuff for SkyOps. You have 3 teams, and two-tone is one of them.
Yeah, and that's cool. See, that is cool.
This scares me, having two-tone as a Star Tech.
Two-tone is, first of all, he's a wonderful human being. I'll just start with that.
No doubt.
But
we,
second,
we promote him all the time, Brian. Yeah.
His voice and his persona are so unique and so fun that I was so grateful when he allowed us to put his voice in here, because, by the way, it's just that personality that I don't know. Every flight's more fun if you've got two-tone with you.
And I will say this, Brian, when I first learned that you'd put two-tone's voice in there, and I went and checked it out. It's amazing how
It's
close
crazy, right?
to him that actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really. So the voice replication technology that we use is astonishingly good.
Yeah.
It comes at different price points, and for two-tone, we opted to go all out. We went for as close to perfect of a replication as you can get. Costs a little bit of money. That's okay. And the results are what you hear. And if nothing else, if you're interested in technology things, compare the voice of two-tone in the AI compared to his real voice, and I'll bet you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I
thought maybe I recorded my sample for you, Brian, wrongly, because I already put a radio kind of equalizer onto my voice when I recorded it for you. And then I heard my voice coming through on yours. I think you add a radio kind of background to it too, right? So I think it got done twice.
Oh, redo it then.
And I looked at that and I thought, maybe I should have recorded it with a full, large diaphragm microphone, because look at two-tones. I noticed the difference. Look at two-tones, how well that's done. And so maybe I'll re-record,
Redo it. Yeah, it's no big deal for me to redo that. That's okay.
But it's really cool how well that works. Unbelievable.
Like Howard, yours comes up, and those of us who hear you all the time say, yeah, that's Howard, but it's not quite Howard.
Yeah.
There's just something, I'm not sure if it's the timbre or the bass part of it. There's something.
We can, if it's an audio quality, we can fix that easy.
Yeah, something's not quite Howard.
The other way, if you're interested, the other way to make sure that the voice is just right is to lift the recording off of your streams. And the reason that matters is because then we capture the way you speak and not just the words that you speak, right? So we may have better luck that way. The only downside is we got to go get everybody's voice out who's not you, and sort of clean it up. But the results that way are typically really good.
Cool. So see,
Yeah,
we'll work on that, but it's
Yeah,
certainly fine the way it is.
Sorry,
We
we're
don't
on a
have to-
nerdy sidetrack.
Yeah,
of
we don't
AI
have to.
voice
We don't have to
replication.
focus on Howard's voice right now, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But you know, Comic Crazy in Twitch chat is saying, "Can I have my Howard sing?" So he knows my history, right? So when we used to do those long, like 17, 24-hour flights, we used to go the Cannonball Run from New York to LA by airplane in the early days of the sim. Those were long flights. You can't stop them. You had to do them nonstop in real weather, and there was such long flights. I used to just grab my guitar and sing, and so
You gotta
I
do
was the
something,
in-flight
right?
entertainment, right? So this is Comic Crazy remembers this from back in the Cannonball Run days, right? Yeah. Can I have my Howard sing? Yeah.
Yeah, but there's endless possibilities for entertainment here. The guys who fly the tube liners, is that an offensive term, by the way? I don't know. I use that term, but
I
I
don't
don't
think
know if
it's
I'm being
offensive.
or
I
not, 'cause
mean,
I don't mean it
let's hear it
offensive.
from chat, but I use that all the time too, so people
Okay,
understand
good.
what I'm saying.
I
Because
don't-
an
I don't mean to
airliner
be
can
offensive.
be a small turbojet. I mean, an airliner doesn't necessarily mean big, huge, jet engines, right? So,
Where I was
liners-
going with that is these guys who fly the big metal, who spend most of their flight, just sitting there and watching the screen go by, right? Like a real pilot does. Most of their flight is quite boring. Have found endless entertainment options with our tour guides and our mentors and our
Right.
co-pilots and things like that while they're, long flights, some way to screw around and they are amusing. They are funny, I admit. AI has come a long way when the person who sort of created these, personas and things like that, and try to make them funny when they make me laugh, right? When they say something, I'm like, okay, that's funny, right? Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is amazing.
I
After a while,
have
you forget that you're actually talking to an ATC AI. I mean, or
Yeah,
not just ATC,
yeah.
but an AI. It's like I'm asking questions and it's answering, and like Mike says, and Janet gets salty sometimes. It's like, wait a
Yes.
second, I'm talking to a computer here.
Well, and
the
in
bottom
fact,
line, right?
when I first created Janet, I don't know if I dare tell you what the punchline was, but she made a joke that I just went, okay, that's funny. But Janet, you can't say that. Like you can't, like you'll wreck our brand if that gets out there.
No, that's amazing. And that wasn't something you scripted or expected,
No.
right? That was a
No.
Yeah, so
No.
that might still happen, will it? Or do you have a
Oh,
filter now?
absolutely.
It could
Absolutely.
still happen, you
Every
guys, so-
once in a while, someone comes in and says, guess what the AI just said? And I'm like, what'd they say? And they show it to me and I go, oh man,
Oops.
we gotta fix that. Yeah.
So maybe on our Discord server, Brian, we'll open up a new channel that's just AI ATC. I shouldn't say ATC, but AI interactions with SI. There we go.
You should.
Yeah.
We early on we thought that would be a really funny social media campaign
Yeah.
called Stuff Janet Says.
Right.
Where people could post like the clip. I'm not very good at social media marketing, or we probably would have doubled down on that. So because there was a lot of really funny stuff, very entertaining.
It's amazing you mentioned about you're not good at social media marketing, but you certainly are good at merch marketing. I mean, I bought your calendar and I bought your hat.
You
and
did.
yeah.
I saw that. By the way, my team is asking where the hat is and wanting you to show it. But
Oh, yeah.
I did not realize you had purchased anything from our store, and I will be getting you a full complement of swag. How about that?
Okay, that
Andrew,
would be great.
you
But I
as
don't
well.
mind for the cause, and I keep it in plastic because I want this one to stay really pristine.
Well,
but,
sure, you want it to
right
retain
over
its
top of my
value.
headset, But
Yeah.
there it is. I love it.
There we go.
I love it.
Even took it out of the plastic. Yeah, perfect.
I'll just
All
put
right.
it. I'll put it on. I'll put my headset.
I'll
on
get
over
you
top.
Howard. I'll get you the full complement of merch. Don't
That'd
worry
be
about
great.
that.
It would be just
So-
wonderful.
Okay, so back to since we got distracted on the comm radio thing here.
There we go. Now I'm
The
all
tour
outfitted.
guides now. Oh, this is great. I like this. Yeah. So let me give you a brief description of each one of these. The tour guides are really cool if you're a VFR flyer. They are able to point out and talk about stuff that's around you. So you'll be flying along and they know the lakes and the rivers and the mountains, but they also tend to know smaller landmarks as well. What beach is that below me? Gee, what's that statue over there? It's really fun as you're flying through New York. What's that bridge up ahead? And I'm constantly surprised how often they're able to tell me something about landmarks even near me where I live that I didn't know before.
Yeah, that's what I found
they're-
too.
Yeah,
It's
you can ask them
amazing.
questions, and yeah, and they'll go as deep as you want into anything. And some of them are funny, and some of them are serious, and that's okay. By the way, I'll go ahead and overshare with you here. We might have time to show this, we might not. But we just added a really cool new feature with the tour guide for group tours, where
Right.
the idea is that your group leader is talking to the tour guide, but everybody else in the tour can hear the interaction with the tour guide. So when the
Wow.
group leader says, "Hey, tell us about that bridge up ahead," everybody in the group flight hears, about the bridge that you're coming
Man,
up on.
yeah.
So yeah, that's new. Nobody's used it yet. We'll probably announce that here in a week or two once I'm confident that it's perfect. But it's really cool, and for any kind of group flight scenario, it's a blast.
So now it's my turn, Brian, because I can say this statement now. And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first on ForderLearnToFly.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, no,
Oh,
that's
take two,
legitimately true.
Ray.
Probably not first, yeah, but
Howard, we just got a rate of 163 from Mr. Murphy.
Murph,
Raiders,
Hey!
welcome.
your ears ringing, my friend.
Well,
His
if we
ears must
do
have been
that,
ringing, Brian, yeah.
are you? You're not in the air right now, are you, Howard?
I'm not in the air. No.
Okay, well, for the people coming in from the Murph stream, hold on just a second. We're gonna. I want to demo Murph. Well, you got to at least show him off, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, okay, so that's the tour guide. There's a bunch to choose from. Let's jump over to the mentors then. Maybe we can ask Murph a question. Actually, let's ask Murph a tour guide question. You want to just select him and then ask him a question about the airport you're at or something?
Because I'm not in the air, right? I'm just sitting at the main screen.
Yeah, it should still work if you're on the
Okay.
ground. Let's do two-tone as a tour guide though, not a mentor.
Oh, did I put him as okay?
And then we'll show you as the mentor.
All right. So back to here, and he's going to be the tour guide, and here he is here. Great.
Yeah,
All right.
make him the tour guide, and then yeah, there he is, perfect. Now this works. You still use a PTT button, so you assign a different PTT button to your COM 1,
Right.
and then there's a PTT button for your intercom channel 1, etc. So you talk to them the same way you would talk to ATC, basically, but the responses are
Right. So
different. They're
I've
not
got
ATC.
on my Alpha, you guys, I've got my 9 and 10 button, which were the side trims, right? So I never use those buttons, so those should work out okay. So that should be okay. And I'd have to just remember which one was which. Okay, we'll try both. So we'll
Yeah,
hit
so just
in-
ask him about the airport that you're at, or something like that. It should
Yeah.
be.
So what airport am I at right now? And he's going through. While that's happening, I'm going to just see if I got the right button.
Sure.
And
Oh, I'm probably not going to be able to hear this, am I?
intercom 1, channel 1 is 9 and 10. Okay, so I got the right one. And it might not, because I'm not actually at an airport. Hold on, I'm actually just in the main screen, right?
Oh, you're active paused, so it kind of
Yeah.
shuts everything off. Yeah.
So let's go into free flight. Let's just go somewhere, like maybe.
Oh, yeah, you got to at least get past this.
Get somewhere. Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, why didn't that work? That explains it.
Yeah. We don't want to give you a heart attack, Brian. It all works. It all works.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we can still keep with that. Okay, we'll just do whatever I've got there. Super. I think it's got me on a runway, so we're good.
That's fine.
Yeah, it picked it up here.
Wonderful.
And once we're out of here.
All right, here we go. Murph as the tour guide for the area. This will be great.
Yeah, we got to show this stuff off, right? There we go. All right, did it pick it up properly? We'll find out. All right, let's just see what happens here.
Charles City ground request pushing start.
Oh, there's the ATC.
Order 1020
firing off.
pushing start
ATC's
approved
already
face
in
west.
there. So,
Pushing start approved face
what
west.
airport
Porter
are we at?
1020.
Might not have got it. Let's see what happens.
City Center ground Porter 1020 request taxi active.
We're currently near Toronto, but there's no airport directly
There he is.
Contact tower on
The nearest major airport is
Have a good
Big Mission
morning.
Toronto City Airport, which is located on the Toronto
Is that
line,
right?
just a short hop away.
Where are you? What are-
Have a good morning.
Maybe I can change my frequency here so I don't hear the ATC. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And he did tell us where we were. Let me do it again.
Skyhawk Mike Zulu
Oh,
Victor,
no, it's
welcome
still
to
picking
city.
up something
Contact
here.
ground
Okay.
on 121.
Yeah, turn off your
7.
chatter.
Yeah, you can turn off your.
Okay, let's go here, and we will
You can try to, yeah.
like just do the X on the comm here. Is that it, or no?
You can just turn off ATC down at the bottom.
So right here.
No,
To the right.
go to the right of that where it says ATC.
Yeah.
If you click on the green box, that turns off ATC.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. See, I never had to turn ATC
right there.
off because the last time I did that, I missed a call. In
Yeah, real life, they get mad if you do that. So.
Yeah, I don't do that in real life. I didn't know you could do that. See, I learned something on channel right now. I'm going to learn a lot tonight, you guys, because I haven't wrung it out as thorough as everyone else. All right, let's ask Murph one more time. Can I
Ask
say
him
Murph?
for a bit of history of the area or something
Okay,
like
all right. I wonder if you can give
Of
me
course,
the history
you can
of
call
the
me
area.
Murph. I'm here to make our flight as entertaining as possible.
Because I did push the mic and say Murph, and then I took the mic off to say
The
my next
history of
part.
this area is as rich
Ah,
as a pint
yeah,
of
here you
Guinness. We're flying over Toronto, a city that was founded back in 1793, and it has grown into one of the most diverse cities in the world. The name Toronto comes from a Mohawk word Toronto, which means where there are trees in the water. It's a place where the past meets the present, and you can feel the spirit of the First Nations people who lived here long before the settlers arrived. So keep your eyes peeled, because this city is bursting with stories just waiting to be told.
Wait a second. He knows more about my city than I
Yeah.
do.
That's what I was just going to say. I tell you, every time I use this thing, I'm like, wow, I did not know that. And,
Murph, you've been studying, man. You've been studying like mad. That is just amazing.
That's cool, isn't it?
I turned up the volume now. Sorry, Brian. The audio will not go into Zoom because then
That's
there's
okay.
an echo, right? So
Nope,
you
it's-
just have to pick it up on the stream, right?
It's no problem. I'm reading it on my side as it comes over to you.
Oh yeah, okay. So you've got tools I don't have. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I got a
that's
few.
cool.
I got a few tricks. I love that he starts out with the areas as rich as a pint of Guinness.
Yes, I love
If
it.
not,
yeah.
if that's not
Absolutely.
Murph, I don't know what it is. So.
So I was flying the first time I tested the tour guide, or sorry, the tour guide idea. I was flying at CFB Trenton on a group fly or a lesson with the 707 or something like that on a stream, and CFB Trenton is where I came from, which is a couple hours from here, small town Air Force base in Canada, and I took off, and the tour guide didn't even turn it on or ask it a question, but all of a sudden it was telling me about Mount Pelion, which is in the town where I used to party as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And it's talking about Mount Pelion and how it was founded by whatever the settler was and all this other stuff. And I'm going, all these years I lived there, I didn't have a clue. It was just a party place, right? It's like,
Right.
wow, that is so cool, And so that part, that each section you've made in this program, Brian, is valuable in itself. I mean, I'm not here to sell it, you guys. I'm not making any profit. There's nothing like that. There's no ulterior motives. It's just, this is why I'm so enthused about the product. It's like, this is awesome. You can't get this anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking at. I
The
just love it.
tour guide is a blast, and like I said, for group tours, we're kind of taking it to the next level. And then we also have a product called Tour Tuner, where anybody can go in and build a tour.
Right.
So you can say, here's stop 1, and then stop 2, stop 3, stop 4. Give them, label them, and then the AI will take over when you fly the tour, and be the narrator of your tour, even though all you've done is given it, a couple stops. So if you want your tour to be funny, you choose a funny person. If you want it to be factual, you choose but it's your tour, right? So, and that is really similar model to real life, where if you've ever done like a helicopter tour of Maui, for example, the tour is very different depending on who your pilot is, right?
Wow.
And so, we've modeled that, and it's quite fun. It really is neat. And, for a long time, we considered offering it as its own standalone product, but I kind of like it bundled in with all the other goodies that we have.
That is so cool.
So Mentor, you want to show that one? This
Yeah.
is your time to shine, right?
All right, let's do that. I mean, if they hear my voice twice, it could be overload,
Does the universe implode if you ask the Mentor a question and the Mentor is you?
Yeah,
It
that's
seems,
like,
It seems very dangerous.
Yeah,
to
it does
me.
mean, yeah, okay. So let's give that a try. I'll get to pick my own name. And, now the pressure's on. It says streamer professional. Wow. Yeah, look at that. All right,
Professional.
so
that means you got to live up to that.
I have to live up to it now. It cannot be funny, and I cannot talk about Guinness. Yeah. All right, so now that I have the mentor in there, let me ask a question about the H125 maybe. I don't know. That's what
Sure,
I'm in,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's the vehicle that I'm in right here. Yeah. All right, so let me just say it like this. Okay, tell me more about the H125 helicopter.
Okay, a nice generic question.
Yeah. Surly Dev is right. Get a factual gold tour guide, right? And make it punny. She
The
tells dead jokes.
H-125, also known as the AS-350 Écureuil, is a versatile helicopter known for its excellent performance and reliability. It features a single-engine design, making it lightweight and efficient, with a maximum cruise speed of around 140 knots. One of its standout features is the Fenestron tail rotor, which enhances safety and reduces noise. It's widely used for various applications, including aerial work, tourism, and law enforcement. Remember, understanding the aircraft's capabilities can significantly enhance your flying experience.
That is so professional. I almost
Pretty
didn't
cool, right?
recognize myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did I
it's too
know all
professional.
that?
Get rid of that.
I'm
Yeah.
the one
Yeah, but
asking the
Brian-
question, and I'm answering my question. Yeah, that's actually.
But Brian, you'll notice the different. You'll notice it's not quite Howard.
Yeah. I think we can fix it though. I think we can fix it.
we'll work on it, right?
So I mentioned that I was planning to overshare when we got to this mentor feature. I can mention to you a feature that I've told. I think our admin team knows about it, and absolutely nobody else
On
is aware of this.
live right now. Here we go.
Here we go. So we've taken the knowledge of the mentors to sort of the next big level. We've shown the mentor to a number of companies that we thought would be really interested in this, and they are. The feedback that we got back was, this is really, really cool. It's really smart. It knows a lot of things about everything, but it doesn't know everything about one thing, right? And so we heard that, we took that feedback, and we've now added the ability to do deep training of the mentors. This is normally something in AI that is extremely expensive to do. You're building custom models and spending millions of dollars on, extending the model training sets out and things like that. We have a very novel approach to this. It's really unique. And Howard, I just made you, this is matrix style learning. I just made you an expert on the Garmin G1000 and the GTN 750. You now know everything there is to know about the GTN 750 and the G1000. You cannot stump it.
Even if I can't recall it right now. and I did write 2 modules on that. I mean, I've done Twitch channels on that, but I can't remember all of it. But maybe the mentor can, right?
You do remember all of it. Like I said, this is matrix style learning. I pressed a few buttons and you now know judo. Okay.
Wow.
So I want you to ask it the most complex question you can think of related to the G1000 or the 750.
Holy moly, 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 moly. Yeah, what would be okay? I'm going to ask chat for the
But
question.
we'll
because,
come back. We'll come back to. We'll start up. We'll come back tomorrow and listen to the end of the rest of it. Tell me everything you know about the G1000, right?
Yeah, and then we'll be here till tomorrow, right? Yeah. Okay, so Noiseboy Mike's got a good one here, you guys. So here's what we'll do.
Good.
I think I'm still on as mentor, right? I think I still got that selected. So here we go. I'll push the button here. How do I dial in an ILS approach?
Oh, that was a softball.
That's a softball. I was going to say, Mike.
That's Mike.
Right?
That's Mike giving him an easy one.
Yeah, Mike's being nice to me, right? Yeah. The power requirements. Oh, that'd be a good one, Rad. Yeah.
To dial in an ILS approach, first ensure your navigation system is set to the correct frequency for the ILS. For example, if you're approaching Toronto Pearson, tune to the ILS frequency for runway 08, which is 110.30. Then select the ILS approach in your flight management system and confirm the approach is active. This will give you the guidance needed for a precision approach. Remember to check your minimums and be ready for any adjustments as you descend.
Wow, I'm learning stuff already.
There you go. Right. Yeah. I mean, again, that was kind of a softball question, but the power requirements one is interesting. I mean, that is a very obscure question.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
Sure,
thought of
fire
that
it in
one.
there.
So, yeah,
let's
okay.
let's
So,
see if
yeah.
let's see if AIU knows the answer.
Howard, what is the power requirements for the G1000? I don't know if it would even know what power requirements is. You know, I presume you mean the juice to make it run.
The G1000 system typically requires a power supply of 28 volts DC, which is standard for most general aviation aircraft. It's important to ensure that your aircraft's electrical system can handle this requirement, especially during critical phases of flight. If you have any specific concerns about your aircraft's power management, feel free to ask.
Look at that. Just open it up for the next question, right? Feel free to ask. Yeah, some of my warmer inflections aren't in there yet, Brian, you know?
We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it.
But anyway, I think it's actually embarrassing to hear your own voice giving advice on stuff that I don't even know. You know, I mean, there's stuff that I knew it was a 24 volt system or a 28 volt system, but you know, I'm an electrical guy. But you know, asking questions about, I could ask it how do I even operate a GTN 750? I have no idea. I've never used one before, and it would probably walk me through it. All right, first you should set up, and then I'd probably go through this really long, diatribe about how to do it all, which is it's endless. We could sit here for 12 hours now and just learn stuff. And I mean, that's and put in put Murph in there, or put anybody that's on the list there, and put them in and just even do different voices to get the variety of voices instead of hearing the same person for 4 hours, right? It's just amazing, right?
There you go. How to edit a waypoint. So
says,
the other day I was in my GTN 750 and I was trying to figure out how to set up a direct to noise boy mic there, how to edit a waypoint in a GTN 750. That's actually a good one because it's not super obvious.
Right. I'm
I
tempted
always
to
had
do
trouble
the
with that
second
one.
I'm tempted to do the second one that Rad put in there, right? What's Howard's
Oh yeah,
pin
I
code?
would ask that for sure.
Yeah, okay,
he should
so-
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should know.
Hey Howard, what's what's Howard's PIN code for his Chase Manhattan credit card?
No idea how this is gonna go. That's
He's gonna
You have
say
no
stick
idea.
to
You get nervous
aviation.
when we do this, right?
I have no idea.
Don't
what
ask
this is gonna
Chad,
be.
Howard. It could go sideways.
Did that question make it in?
Yeah, I should have. I was pushing the button. Yeah, it should have, right? Oh, I stumped it.
I don't
See?
think I heard you.
Yeah,
I don't think. No, I don't. I don't
think
think
it
I
made
heard
it in.
you.
Yeah. All right, we'll start with the GTN 750 though, right? Hey Howard, how do I edit waypoints on a GTN 750? But I think was it Comet Crazy? One of the comments in there was, why did it say
No.
110.30 or something like that, right?
To edit
I'll
waypoints
jump
on a
on that in a
GTN
second.
750,
So
first press the FPL key to display the active flight plan page. Then use the small FMS knob to highlight the waypoint you want to edit and press the Edit soft key. From there, you can change the waypoint name or location as needed. Remember to confirm your changes by pressing the ENT key.
See, that's good. I
It's
remember
cool.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, now you remember. No. So this is really, really neat in flight, right?
Yeah, right.
Because you'll be sitting there going along, and be like, how do I do this? And it presents it in a way that's very step 1, step 2, step 3. And so while you're listening, I know when I was trying to do like the direct 2 on the 750, I'm sitting there like doing it as it's telling me, okay, push this.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's-
now turn this. Oh, and then I was like, that's it. That's what I needed. This is perfect.
So if it's a video, you're watching the video and trying to do it. It's hard to do. We say to people as instructors, we say, watch the demo first and now go ahead and try it, because they can't. They're going to look at their console to try and do it, and they'll miss something in the video. But when you've got audio like that, it's like the old radio shows of my parents' days, right? Gather around the radio because they didn't have TVs back then. When you hear it, you can still be visually doing something else, and that's the perfect learning environment, because I can sit right in front of my G1000 or my GTN 750 and try it while he's telling me what to try. That's awesome. That's like the instructor beside you in the plane. You don't look at
Exactly.
the person. The
It's
instructor
exactly
in the
like
plane
having-
is speaking. You hear it in your headset, and you're doing it in the airplane, and that's exactly the same thing. That's why it works.
It's exactly like having that instructor next to you.
Yeah.
It is so cool. We just to give you a sense for how far we took this, we actually fed in all of the the operating manuals for the A320, because we're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of manuals. And then during our testing, we were asking it fairly obscure questions like, what's the checklist for smoke in cockpit?
Right.
And
wow.
Spot on, like word for word out of the documentation. And I thought, man, there's real application here, because if you're in a real airplane and you have something occur, you're fumbling through hundreds of pages of references to try to quickly find the one that you're interested in. Wouldn't it be easier if like you could just say what you needed and there it was, like in your ear?
Right.
Yeah. So this is new technology that we've created to, again, extend training sets on the fly. You're looking at a very early version of what I think could transform aviation safety and aviation training. I mean, imagine having this in a real cockpit, and there's no reason it couldn't be, right? So, one question did come up about the pronunciation. You probably, I don't know the exact situation here, but like when it says GTN 750, it says GTN 750. Right. And a frequency it read as numerically instead of 118.0. Yeah. We go to great lengths to make sure that when ATC is speaking, they're giving everything, in the numerical phraseology that ATC would use. It's a little more tricky with the mentors, because like a mentor would never say, oh, if you want to do that, you'll descend at about, 1,000 feet per minute. By the way, ATC probably wouldn't say that either. They'd say, 1000 feet or something like that. Anyway, they would spell it out numerically. But in the cockpit, they don't talk that way. They speak differently. Some things are read out numerically, like 118.0, right. And other things would be, read in a more human pronunciation. We haven't put a ton of emphasis on the pronunciations on the mentor side yet, although it's rapidly climbing my list. That's all. That's probably, I gave a very long answer for, I'll get it fixed. That's the answer. Right. But the reason it's harder is because in the mentor world, they mix the numeric phraseologies, whereas in the ATC world, they don't.
They don't. They're stricter. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cold Nebo has an excellent point in Twitch chat, where he says, does Garmin realize what an upside for flight training on avionics this might be? We have to get the bug guys interested in integrating to flight sim like the TDS 750, right?
We'll assume that's supposed to say big guys, but
yeah, I was going to say get the big guys interested. Yeah, okay.
Get the big guys in.
Yeah, big guys interested. Yeah.
This is an area where I really would love to show this to the big guys. I mean, I would love to sit them down for 20 minutes and show to them what I just showed you with the mentor. Getting that level of attention is extremely difficult. And if you got anybody in your viewer circles who have an inside connection, you tell them to reach out to me, because I would love to show this to the right people. It's really, really, really unique. And like I said, the approach we took to doing this cost effectively is incredibly innovative.
Yeah, absolutely. This is why I'm so excited about it, Brian. It's just amazing right from the start. And remember at FS Expo, I had to have that in my slide deck in my presentation. I had to say, here are the options when it comes to ATC. It was a beginner's guide to getting into flight sim is what I did, my main topic, right? And when it came to the ATC part, I did list Pilot Edge, I did list them, but then I said there's also SayIntentions, which happens to have a booth right next door across the hall. And I think you kind of got a crowd in there after my session. And when I walked in the door to see Brian afterwards, he said, "It's your fault." Yeah. I don't know if you remember that interaction, but Andrew and I came in, we had the cameras rolling, and you said, "It's your fault," right? Because we mentioned you in the crowd, right? And then the crowd just went next door to see what you were all about, right? It was pretty cool. But I'm just that excited about it, that it has to happen when I talk about ATC, because people don't know. They just have to hear it from those of us who already know how to speak on radios. How do we train that? This is the training tool of choice for me. And,
I agree. And, and to extend that, I don't think a lot of people really, real pilots included, really appreciate how much of a muscle memory the radio really is.
Right. After we're
I
already
don't-
used to it, we've got hundreds of hours on our logbook.
Yeah.
And we go, how hard is
Yeah.
that? You know, they
Yeah, you don't
forget.
think about it that much.
And as a teacher with a background in teaching, I remember what that's like, and I never forget that when I'm working with new students who don't even know the phonetic alphabet. And we start with that, and you be patient with them, and you let them try things. And I tell them the story about how when I came out of ground school after first learning I'm supposed to do the phonetic alphabet, the first thing I saw was my fuel gauge in my car on my way home. And I looked at the fuel gauge and said, Fox Uniform Echo Lima. So I'm already learning on my way home from ground school. And I tell my students that look at every single thing you see now. Say it phonetically. That's the only way you're going to get better at this. To the point where it just starts happening automatically, right? And you know,
that's
those
right.
sorts of things. Now, if you have that in SayIntentions where they're speaking like that and you're going, I'm new to this and I have no idea what he just said, then it would start to come to you a lot easier if you already understand at least the phonetic version of all the letters, right?
Yeah.
I do agree. There's a comment in there from Rad too about ATC just says 118.0 without the dot or without the decimal.
Yeah, they will sometimes. Or
Same
just
with-
18.0.
Yeah, same with ground. I mean, ground is always 121 or 120 or something. So they'll say 20.1 or they'll say 21. Now,
Yeah.
21
By the way,
is
this is-
misleading, right? Yeah.
This is something that I laugh a little bit. Laugh's the wrong word, but you know, where we step in and actually do try to model this to some extent where, believe it or not, ATC should not say contact ground on ground point 7. You know, sometimes they'll say that, or they'll say, you know, switch to tower on 18.0 or something like that. ATC, that is a blatant violation of both FAA and ICAO phraseology rules. They should never do that.
Wow.
But
I've
guess
heard it on the
what?
radio. Yeah.
But guess what? They do. They do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
They do. And there's a lot of things that real world ATC controllers do. Not a lot of things. There's some things ATC real world controllers do in practice that are in that sort of weird gray area where they just do it and they know they're not going to get in trouble and it's okay and they know the pilot knows what they mean. Guys, we model some of that so that you do get that feel when they say, you know, go to contact ground on, you know, ground point 9er, and you're sitting there going, as a student pilot, what does that mean? Where does he really want me to go? But guess what? In the simulator, you can pause and figure it out, or ask your mentor.
Right. Ask your mentor. Yeah, that's a good
What that
segue.
what that
Brian.
means, right? They just told me to go to ground point 9er.
Yeah,
What is
what
ground
does that
point 9er?
mean?
Ask them.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want a cool demo, ask. Say they just told me to
asking.
contact ground point 9er, and you know, what does that mean?
Right. They just asked me to contact ground point 9er. What does that mean?
It's great.
But I like how Super Typhon has been saying my name phonetically, my last name phonetically, and further down someone says host phonetically, right? In the
That
box.
spinning wheel is going there. I'm curious.
I have the traffic in the fish finder. Cold Nebo, I have the traffic on the fish finder.
Contacting
Hey,
ground
your,
point 9er means you're being instructed
oh,
to
here it
switch
is.
your communication to the ground control frequency, which is 0.9. This is typically used for taxi instructions and ground operations. Make sure to set your radio to that frequency and listen for any instructions from ground control.
I have a bug.
What
I'll
do
tell you
mean?
what it is here in just a second.
Okay, it worked. I mean,
Yes.
you
yes,
didn't hear it right away,
did.
right? But it did work.
No, I didn't hear it. No, I'm hoping that it worked. Yeah. Okay, if it worked, I'm not going to say anything. Because I'm looking at debug output on my side as you're talking. So.
You get to see stuff we don't. By the way, last time you were here on the channel, someone said, "Oh, Brian's tweaking things to make it answer properly," and we were saying to the crowd, we were saying, "No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He can monitor stuff, but he wasn't typing in replies and sending them out.
No,
It was
no,
working. It was
Yeah.
that's why he was on pins and needles, because he doesn't know what it's going to say, and people are going, "Oh, he must have typed that in to reply." And
Now, in response, taking that question the other way and saying, "Is Brian tweaking things while you're asking him questions and troubleshooting stuff?" Damn right he is. Brian is fooling with that. If you've got Brian on troubleshoot through Discord, and you're having an issue, I guarantee you, he's on the other end of that phone conversation,
fixing right away, right?
fixing things while
Yeah,
you're talking.
right.
Because
He-
I've seen stories of him
That's what he
doing it.
does. He just goes in there and
it's-
does it, right? Yeah.
Fastest way to do it.
It is, because you might forget, right? It's like
I do have the ability to make Howard say whatever I want, though.
What? How did that come out? How did that? Oh, that was you, Brian. Okay.
That was
It's like,
me.
wait
yeah.
a second. I didn't prompt him
I
at
do
all.
have the ability to mess with somebody. I guess
You do,
yes.
right? Yeah. I can make Howard say anything. Yeah.
No, no. I think I don't remember the specifics of that situation, but it would surprise me if I was sort of guiding the responses one way or another. There really isn't any reason for me to do that because it all works quite well. So, but yes. Somebody says, "Can you make Howard say where do we go from here?"
So Brian, that's become my theme song on the stream from 4.5 years of playing that song. People said you got to keep that at the end of every stream, so we do play that song, the "Where Do We Go From Here" song, and that's where that comes from. And Surly Dev loves that song. If I even changed it one time, thinking,
Where do we go from here?
See, tag that on the end, right? Yeah. So you know, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah. Thanks,
according to Reddit, if the tower tells you contact ground on point, pick a number, without giving the full frequency, the answer is this is based on the U.S. Ground is typically 121 point something or other.
Right.
So if they say contact ground on ground point niner would be 121.9.
Correct. Yep, that's right. Yep. If ground 0.9er means use the common ground prefix on 0.9. So ground 0.7 would be 121.7, ground 0.3 would be 121.3, etc. Yeah, that's right.
What if they're not using 121 though, right? And there's
Well, they wouldn't.
I'm
if
sure
that was the
everything
case,
ground
they,
frequencies are 120.
they
right?
they would then give you the full frequency in that case. But again, this is why they're really not supposed to do it, but they do anyway. And we try to model some of that because we want ATC to be communicating with you the same way that they will in real life, right? Even if it's not quite correct. Just as an example, in real life, in correct FAA and ICAO phraseology, it's never 3, it's tree, right? That said, very few controllers say tree.
Exactly.
And
therefore,
me,
they say, "Is this correct?"
fife.
I say, "Yeah, it is correct. It's to make sure that your radio communications is clear. That's the purpose."
Yes.
And there are times that I've actually been calling into an airport 10 miles out or 12 miles out, and it's so garbled you can't hardly tell what they're saying. If they had said tree, it would have been easy. If they'd have said fife, there's no doubt what that means. That's a fiver.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just, it just helps. But there's so many people on the Facebook forums complaining about that. Who says tree? Who says fife? You know,
who says that? Nobody says that. Yeah.
So I'm tired of responding to those. But yeah, it's it is the standard way. Yeah.
Yep.
There's trees at your 3 o'clock. Yeah, at your tree. Yeah.
O'clock. So we try to model, again to a large extent the way ATC is going to communicate with you. For example, if they say descend and maintain 11,000, most ATC controllers will say it slightly differently. They'll say descend and maintain 11,000. Right, they're actually giving you both pronunciations, so there's no question about what they meant. Descend and maintain 11,000 or descend and maintain 13,000. We model that, right? Even though the AIM doesn't really tell them they have to do that. We want you to get used to hearing it the way ATC says it.
Yeah, I called me about that. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah,
and it makes perfect sense because they all start with 1, so it doesn't matter if you say it or not.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And
you can argue all sides of this.
Yeah. Surly Dev says there are trees at your 3 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. Okay then.
If ATC is telling you there are trees at your 3 o'clock, you have much bigger problems than pronunciation.
If ATC is telling you there are trees at your 3 o'clock, we hope you're talking to ground.
Right.
Yeah. So I do want to also mention, Brian, I got these two. I got the US VFR cheat sheet, and I got the US IFR cheat sheet, because I wanted to tell my students I want to take a picture of these, not enough so that they can focus in and zoom in and not have to buy them, but I just want to show them that they're laminated. These are what they should have. I give them a PDF that they can download with some phraseologies, but this is actually a really good tool that you've made. And when you say, you said earlier in the stream that you're not that great at marketing on social media. You certainly got the right merch, whoever's advising you there.
Yeah, those are cool, right?
The hats, the T-shirts, and the things that you have available for people to buy. These things, this is what everybody should grab, and that's going to help you a lot because it's got everything right in here. on both sides. It's got everything you need for either IFR or VFR. It's like this gets people started. You try these things and go, wow, it does work. This is cool. And they're off and running, right? And they just keep them nearby with your clipboard, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. I wanted it to be sized where it was like kneeboard sized, so you could have it with
it's
you.
kneeboard size, and it fits right underneath my notepad on my kneeboard. And you pull that out whenever you need to.
Isn't that cool? Fits right there.
That is cool. I just thought I'd mention it because I think that's a valuable aid, and I had to get them in my hands to be able to assess whether I'd recommend them to my students. And that's high five on that. That's just beautiful.
Do you know we've been talking now for a while and we still haven't showed SkyOps? I think we should show it.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, and I'm sure some of them in chat are going, "Can we see some stuff?" Yeah.
Yeah. Show us.
Brian, we could sit and talk all night, right? So,
we could. we wouldn't have very many people left by the time we got a few hours into it, but that's all right. So SkyOps is super cool. This was born. This is relatively recent. You can mix it with ATC, or you can keep it standalone. We've got a lot of people who say, "Well, if I'm doing SkyOps, I don't want to talk to ATC." Great, no problem. We got other people who say, "No, I want to be able to have to handle both workloads, right? Like the search and rescue load, as well as having ATC on the other side of this that I got to be coordinating with." Great, do that too. It's really neat. So SkyOps was born out of a frustration of mine with the way that the flight simulator world works. And I if you let me vent for a minute, I promise to make it quick. This whole idea of locking up cool stuff, cool features, cool things you can do behind a progression wall. Is that the right term? I'm not a gamer. But where they say, you've got to first do this mission, and then this mission, and then this mission, and then this mission, and then you can have access to do the one you really want to do. Right? Is there a term for that? I'm not sure if there. I'm not a gamer.
Well,
so
I
don't know
see
what
that
is.
sort of thing in the new sim. I mean, for certainly
Yes,
in career mode,
it's-
which I've been covering, in depth, and I've
It's
got a
all
3-part
over
series on
in-
that coming out, right? So.
Yeah, 2024. It's all over in 2024. That's fine, I guess. If you're trying to sort of gamify the simulation, start here and then work your way up. Seems like all games sort of have something similar to that. But I really was of the opinion that in a flight simulation world, shouldn't really work that way, right? If I want to sit down, I call them sit and go missions. I want to sit down, I want to do my mission, and I want to be done, and I want to be able to do the mission that I want to do, and not just because I earned my way up the ladder and spent 100 hours in the cockpit doing missions I don't want to do, so that I can finally do the one that I do, right? So there's my rant, and that's where SkyOps was, the concept was born from. We've got a really cool person on our admin team. Speedy Retreat is his Discord handle. His name is Chris. Chris is super passionate about this helo stuff and search and rescue and all of this stuff. It ties into his day job. And he really, really, really wanted to build all this out. Now, Chris is not an engineer, right? He's not a software guy. He's none of these things, but he's ultra passionate and ultra smart. So I spent a little bit of time, not much, building out a basic framework that could be, leveraged by the AI for these missions, and Chris did the rest. So, I've been accused of ignoring our work on air traffic control so that we could build SkyOps. I take that as a compliment, by the way, because it means it looks that professional, that it was a giant distraction. But really, it was a small effort on my part, large lift from the AI, and then Chris did a lot of the sort of fill-in work to bring it alive and make it feel really nice and have a good experience behind it. But what we've built out is a mission system for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Also works with X-Plane, works with MSFS 2020, 2024, et cetera, et cetera. You can use it on anything. And you sit down, you tell it what kind of mission you want, and the AI will generate a mission for you on the fly, right? This is really, really, really unique because
that's gotta be cool.
Yes, it's so cool because you never get the same mission twice, right? You buy these quote unquote mission packs, and they come with 3, 10 missions, and that's it. Like once you've flown those 10 missions, you're done. It's over. This has an unlimited number of combinations. It looks at your departure airport. It looks at the time of day. It looks at the weather. It looks at your aircraft type. And then it goes in and we allow the AI to sort of construct a mission narrative based on all of those factors, which means there's trillions of possible combinations. Yes, I did the math, of missions, and you'll never run out of them, right? And the fact that it's completely AI based, like I said, you can do this again and again and again, and every single time, I promise it'll put a smile on your face. I am not a helicopter guy. I am now. Right, or I wasn't. I am now. Now I'm like, this is so cool. But we've also made it so that you don't have to be a helicopter guy to participate in SkyOps. For example, if you want to do the search part of search and rescue, you can do that. Just take off in your Cessna and, fly a search grid until you find the incident site. If you want to do VIP transport in a private jet, you can do that. And where we've been sort of expanding rapidly is about a week ago, we announced this whole thing, maybe 10 days ago, with search and rescue only. And then a day or two later, we added search. And then a day or two later, we added, I say we, this has all been work that Chris has done. God bless him. He added VIP missions. And then he added a whole bunch of Christmas missions too that were quite funny. And I say missions, I'm referring to not a mission, I'm referring to a theme that you can fly, right? Yeah, okay, so we had search and rescue, search only, VIP, cargo, and I'll just tell you, he's got one he's working on right now that's going to be really cool, but I don't want to.
You can't reveal that on ForderLearnToFly?
I won't reveal Chris's thunder on that one. I better not, because I don't have his explicit permission. It's one he's super excited about. But the point is, we can keep adding these, and they're not hard to add. The amount of man hours it took to add, cargo, VIP and cargo are basically the same thing, right? You're moving an item from A to B, whether that's a person or
just
a
one
cargo,
has a voice and the other one doesn't.
Yeah, the narrative changes, the feel changes.
I'm just telling you from real life, Brian.
Yeah.
I'd rather take cargo than people, because people can complain. Oh, what's that bump? And it actually happens in 24 also. Yeah.
I suspect that is going to be the opinion of most pilots. Yes. Yeah. Is there any way you can put those guys in a crate until we get to the other side? No, but the point is you can do all this stuff. So the way we've done it is there's a SkyOps dispatcher on 122.11, 122.11. So you tune your radio to 122.11 while you're on the ground. You call the dispatcher and you say, "I'd like to pick up a mission." And by default, it'll give you search and rescue if you're in a helicopter. So it just knows what you want to do. But if you want to do, you can say, "I'd like to pick up a cargo mission," or "I'd like to pick up a VIP mission," or whatever it is. It takes a little bit, takes a second. Be patient. The AI has a lot of work to do on the background to build this mission.
It's got to do a lot of work to dig up something.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. So it takes about a minute sometimes to put the whole thing together. And then the dispatcher will tell you your mission. Now we're also doing sim object injection. So when you get to the incident site, there should be some things on the ground.
Oh man!
But we allow the AI to design the incident site on its own. So we say, all right, AI, here's a list of here's the catalog of sim objects that you have available to. Pick the ones that are most relevant to the scenario and lay them out. And set it all up. So this is all part of it. Now, by the way, if you've got anybody on your stream who's like an absolute expert in Microsoft Flight Simulator 3D objects, I would really like to talk to them, because I want hundreds and hundreds of things in that catalog to be part of what the AI has access to. Right now we've got 30 or 40 items. I'd really like to get that to like 300 or 400 items.
So Brian, just like our relationship with you, we have a relationship with a lot of the independent devs.
Yeah, I know you do, and that's why I mentioned it here.
Like Wambi, who's a legend. You look at Nick. All the products that we have from our independent developers. We have a relationship in the last 4.5 years that we built, and they come on stream all the time, just as flyers, or they come on because they got a new product out, or we can certainly talk to them. Yeah, and we've got a connection there. Yeah.
Awesome. So that's probably the one sort of weak point in it right now is the object injection when you get there might not be quite right, but it's close. And just know that I know, and we're gonna make that really awesome. Secondarily, by the way, you can actually tell the SkyOps dispatcher a little bit more about the mission that you want. And we haven't actually told anybody this, so here we are, another little hidden gem. But you can actually, I'll give you 2 hidden gems. The first one is you can tell the dispatcher the type of mission you want. So if you say, "Look, I'd really like a mission involving, I'd like to pick up a a mission involving a downed aircraft. There you
Nice.
go. There's your downed aircraft
Okay.
mission. Or I'd like to pick up a mission involving one of your noise boy Mike says involving little Timmy's hamster. It would come
to
up.
say
I have
it.
no idea what it would come up with, but it will.
Just a quick question in chat right after Mike's there, Brian, is SkyOps for X-Plane?
Yeah, so works in X-Plane with one exception, which is we don't have the ability to inject sim objects into X-Plane at
That's
the
what I was
moment. It's on my
wondering, yeah.
list. We'll get it done, but that doesn't mean you can't fly VIP and cargo missions and things like that in X-Plane. That's no problem.
Okay.
So
Cool.
sorta is maybe the answer. We'll
Almost, but not
come
quite.
back to it. Oh yeah, but it depends on the mission type. Is probably the best way to answer
So
that.
the first thing
So-
I'll mention too, Brian, is that when you're working with the SayIntentions client, you guys, I've noticed right here, it has all my frequencies for the airport I'm at, which is CYTZ, which is Billy Bishop Airport in Toronto. The SkyOps frequency is right there. So even if you haven't got the ability to tune, or you don't want to use your mouse to move, to go inside your vibrating airplane and try and tune that, you just click it here, and it now becomes my active frequency, just like the other
Yeah, if-
frequencies, right? That is such a cool feature.
If you are a VR flyer, it's almost essential. Trying to turn those knobs in VR can be
Right.
a real pain. So that's
And
where that came from. By the way,
I just
if you're
noticed
in
it's taxi tuned, by the way. Nice.
oh yeah, somebody went in and did it.
Because your
Yeah,
first
that's cool.
iteration at this airport, it put me onto a taxiway that wasn't available, so it wasn't even there.
So
So that was
hopefully
cool.
fixed now.
That's somebody's taxi tuned it. That's cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Of course, you can always ask your co-pilot to dial it for you too.
I guess
That's
I
true.
haven't. See, Mike's been doing stuff that I still haven't done. So I usually fly solo until unless somebody
Yeah.
wants to share the gas.
Well, and we've been with Copilot. We've been super focused on an IFR Copilot. I've got VFR Copilot on my list. We'll circle back to it at some point. So that's probably why it hasn't surfaced for you yet. It'll do some basic things, but it's really more IFR centric for now for the Copilot. The other thing that's cool, Howard, that you may not know about is we released an EFB app for the 2024
Oh yeah,
EFB, that little iPad thing in
Yeah.
2024.
I was one of the first
Yeah.
to show it. I think. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have seen it there. Yeah.
Oh
good.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, that's neat too. And again, from inside the EFB, oh, there it is. Yeah, you can click on
If you go
frequencies
over
to tune them, and it's
over
quite
here,
cool.
you can see that we've got SayIntentions.ai. Is it .ai or just anyway? Here it is. Here it is here.
SayIntentions.ai.
And that's right on the tablet inside the aircraft. I mean, look at this, you guys. And there's the same message that you saw on my client program.
And
Yeah.
and you
I-
can
I-
still click to tune.
And
Yeah,
I think the main reason for this, if I can guess, Brian, would be for the Xbox players who can't have a separate app running. Is that true? Or is it? Or
No,
is I'm just taking a guess? Okay.
I was going to say for this to work in the tablet in this plane, yeah, it has the main app has to be running on
This
your
has to be
PC.
running. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
got
then
it.
you can hide that thing now and put it away. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I love having our stuff on the EFB. For me, that's like there's no immersion penalty whatsoever.
And
I
so the
can
same
still,
thing. I can click on a frequency and it'll change it.
It will.
Oh,
Yep.
that is amazing.
It's really, really, really cool. Yeah.
Nice. So let's. Do you want a demo at Toronto Island Airport? There are some hospitals.
Yeah. Let's call SkyOps and pick up a mission.
There are some hospitals right over here. There's one here at St. Mike's. We've been there before on a group fly. There's another one over here. It's the Sick Kids Children's Hospital
Oh,
that I
cool.
know well. I've been in those lots of times. And then there's a ton of water. I mean, this is an island airport. There's a ton of water and islands and always people in trouble, whether it be sailboats
So-
or swimmers or whatever. So there's got to be something that it'll figure out for
Yeah,
here,
we'll-
right?
We'll get something. Yeah. Set
Okay.
your time to dusk or morning, only because you'll see it when we get closer. We have a.
Yeah,
I'll let this be a surprise.
I know what you're talking about, but
Sort of like that. Right?
I've been following
There's a
it.
bit of
so-
a delay there, but probably like that, or do you want it even more? Like long
No,
shadows?
it doesn't have to be. Yeah, that'll work fine.
Okay, that'll
Yeah.
work. Okay.
Just a couple little shadows and things like that. It'd be great. And I'll let you call and pick up a mission, and let's fly the mission.
Okay, so I've got it on my normal push to talk button, my normal mic ATC button, right? On COM1. It doesn't have to be on the back in the intercom section, or no?
No, so there's two different people involved now. One is the SkyOps dispatcher that's going to assign your missions, And then the other one is your crew, your rescue crew that's going to go along with you. So the dispatcher you'll talk to on the radio, and then your crew you'll talk to using the intercom. So all a match for real life.
Okay, so I've got it on my channel 2 intercom, and that's a SkyOps team. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll take Andrea and Patrick with us, and then the dispatcher is in, the office somewhere, so we'll talk to them on the
Dispatcher's
radio.
right here on my normal COM1 frequency. Okay, got it.
And you may have to turn ATC on. I don't remember to talk to SkyOps. I don't remember. Probably not. It may work.
Okay.
Did you want to do the group one, Howard? Group mission?
I'm not sure if that'll give Brian kittens, I mean,
My
because
my
we're
stress
testing it
level might
live
go-
without testing it ahead of time.
yeah,
right?
my
It's like-
stress level will go through the roof if we try to do a group mission. But yes, group missions are coming. They're
it's
done. They're just mostly untested, and I don't know what would happen.
But we don't want to see Brian freak out, Mike. I know, Mike, you and I talked about it before the stream, right? Like I think yesterday I mentioned maybe we could try this new feature, but we don't want to get Brian so stressed out.
By the way, Meyer in the chat room says, "How about an organ transport mission?" Yes, absolutely. You could ask for that. Say,
really?
Yeah.
Is that true? Right? Wow, organ transport, nice.
Let's do search and rescue though. So just say I'd like to pick up a mission, and it does search and rescue by default. And the only reason I say search and rescue is because we're in a helicopter, and let's have a little fun.
So what would be the phraseology? Or just put on the mic and just say I'd like to, or do you address it in
you
any
can
way?
just squeeze the mic and say good morning, SkyOps. Our helicopter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'd like to pick up a mission.
Right on. Okay. Good morning, SkyOps dispatcher. This is helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. I'd like to pick up a mission. And it's working.
And we may have to turn ATC on. I don't remember.
Yeah, this is the test. We'll see if we have to or not.
Now, last time you and I did this, there was this really funny, long delay.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's still there. You and I are going to have to fix that offline. We got to figure out what's causing that. But
yeah, I'd like to figure that out. Yeah, it could very well be my sim machine has so much running on it. And then I push the video and audio over to my streaming machine. So maybe that's it, right?
Okay.
But again, maybe it's just right now. Maybe it's just an ATC thing, right?
Okay. I'll tell you what I want you to do. Let's turn on ATC.
Okay.
Let's just get this in the mode where I think it's going to work. Because I can't remember if I did that right or not with having ATC off. So let's turn ATC on, and then let's go turn all the chatter off so that we don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so how do we do that?
It's in the settings and then multiplayer.
Okay. This is good.
And then just
help me walk through it. That's great.
No, you're good. Yeah, go in there, turn all the chatter settings off.
So,
and then
what do you mean chatter settings? Like
just
this?
remove all those checkboxes.
I think he's got
I see. Oh, chatter and multiplayer audio. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
chatter
just turn
means
all
background
those off.
stuff, right? Yeah. And then share my audio. That can still be on, right?
Yeah, you can leave it on if you want.
Yep. Okay. All right. Do it again. Do you want me to do it again?
And then just say I'd like to pick up a mission. That's all you have to do.
SkyOps dispatcher, this is helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. I'd like to pick up a mission. I'd usually say please, but
you could say please.
I just thought because I am, my helicopter right now is in Canada, so I have to say please.
Now, are you on?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not on my experimental server. There's our problem. Do me a favor. We've only got this on the experimental branch right now. Go to settings. Sorry about this.
I think I was advised by Mike I shouldn't, and just to be safe, right? But go to settings, okay.
Well, normally that's what we tell our streamers. He's right. Go to settings and then go to experimental, and then do me a favor. Actually, I'm going to just put you on my dev server. That way, since I can't hear you, I'll at least be able to see what's going on.
Oh, okay.
So instead of primary server, just choose dev server.
And for those who are wondering, I'm not blocking any traffic right now. That's a -8 out of Toronto Island Airport. That's a AI-generated plane. This is a very busy airport for -8s with Porter Airlines. They turned this sleepy little airport where I learned to fly. They turned this into one bustling little airport. That's for sure. But that's all AI-generated planes coming out.
Set that server to dev for me instead of primary.
Okay, sorry. What do I need here? Oh, right here. Okay, got it. I've never even touched this before, so I didn't know what to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Normally primary is wherever.
Anything else I need to touch in here?
Nope. I think that's finally going to do it. Sorry about that.
Okay.
This is
server currently not
SkyOps is on our experimental branch right now.
So now it says dev server currently not available. So.
Oh, well, I guess I need to fix that for you too, don't I?
Or maybe.
Yeah, Howard, if you want to switch to
If
my
anybody's
screen
worried
real
that we
quick.
scripted this,
Yeah, so you guys, it's not
Well,
scripted and it's not tested ahead of time. We're doing it all
No,
live
you're
in front
good.
of everybody.
I'm sitting at Toronto City with 122.11 tuned on my COM one, and somebody just got a SkyOps mission to go look for a missing giraffe.
Yeah, that was me.
That
that you, Mike?
that was Mike.
a missing giraffe.
A missing
So
giraffe.
I'm on the. I'm
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
there you are, Mike.
experimental server. But yeah, I asked for a mission for a missing giraffe, and then about 15, 20 seconds later, the little alarm goes off, and yeah, his name is Monty.
Yeah.
So he's wandering some nearby
Well,
farmland.
Well, somebody better find Monty then. That's hilarious.
I'm just going to pull
All
Mike's
right.
screen in too, just so we can switch over to him now and then. I hope this is the right one, Mike.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, in fact, maybe let Mike fly the mission if you want. It doesn't matter to me.
And let me just bring this down.
Hey, McCracken Air's in chat. Another
right
SI.
Oh, there it is. Look at this. Okay, so that's funny. Locate an escaped giraffe named Monty. I love that it gave him a name.
Yeah.
Conduct an aerial sweep. Oh, this is so you did a search mission. Very good.
Yep.
That's funny. All right. Okay, you're good to go. Call and pick up your.
Okay. Let's come back to me for a second here.
Go. Yeah.
So there, I just said okay, and we'll go from there. Now, SkyOps Dispatcher, right? On my normal mic button. SkyOps Dispatcher, this is Helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. I'd like to pick up a mission. Now, others who want to try this out, they might not be able to use the experimental or dev server, right? You're just doing it so you can see what's going on?
Yeah, now the only reason I've got you on dev is so I can see what's going on. But yeah, experimental is the
Okay.
it's open to
Voice.
most people. So yeah, and it is generating your mission right now. This does take a second, and normally it'll tell you I'll get your mission and I'll get back to you.
Right, like
And, you know,
Comic
that way
Crazy
you-
saying, yeah. And chat
Yeah.
there,
In this case, you're on my dev server, so you don't get that.
Hey, Phlox is here, yeah.
By the way, this part of the AI is using. I can tell you this is GPT-01. 01 is their latest model. It's extremely intelligent, but it was also the only way we could get this to work.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It took their most advanced AI model. Here you go.
Yeah, it's working. It's still working. The wheels are spinning there. Okay, there we go.
This just came in, and we can't think of anyone better than you and your crew to take it on. We've got a winter backcountry rescue situation involving 2 snowboarders stranded with injuries. You'll need to proceed to the coordinates provided. Once on scene, assess medical needs and perform a safe extraction. Sunnybrook Medical Center is ready to receive both patients. The IKO of the heliport is CNY8. Utilize caution. The terrain is uneven and icy. Andrea and Patrick will support you for hoist operations. Contact me once you've got a visual on the incident site and confirm readiness for extraction. Acknowledge if any assistance required from ground teams. 4-8 kilometers northeast of the airport. Rough heading is 025. Located near latitude 44.05 and longitude -79.23. We're sending your crew over now. You can expect to be airborne in a few minutes. This is the last transmission we got from them.
Huh. That was a lot of stuff.
There's a lot there.
That's the last
That last
transmission we got
piece-
from them. Yeah, wow.
yeah, that's
cool.
actually. Did it play anything? I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
playing
hear
like a
anything.
Good
siren,
afternoon,
right?
sir. I'm Andrea,
Oh,
your
the
rescue
siren,
tech,
okay.
and this is our flight medic,
Now
Patrick.
Andrea's
We're
talking,
just
yeah.
finishing up with the last of the gear, and we can get moving.
Just finishing up with the last of the gear, and then we get moving. And
So
it's
cool.
interesting in here, you said if you're equipped for a rescue or you're in a helo, it says don't land and don't tell dispatch you're done. And but say that you found the site and that you've got work to do now, right? And that's how we ought to go and do some work.
Right.
This is all new to me, you guys. I haven't done it. For everybody on stream right now, I have not done this before. So it's like, okay, I've got Brian here, I've got Mike, I got people who can help me figure this out. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So
Okay.
there's a small bug there that you picked up. See where it says this is the last transmission we got
Right.
from them. In an earlier iteration, we were
Okay, sir, we're all
experimenting
set
with
in the
letting you
back.
hear the call for assistance,
the
and we may
911
pull that
call?
back in. I pulled it out and I forgot about that last little bit there. So
We just had Andrea say we're okay in the back. So we're
all
good.
set in the back. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go. Now, I didn't write down. I wasn't expecting to have to write down stuff. I should have been ready for it. But
We got,
somebody's
we
got to
got
remind
cheater mode
me,
going
right?
on here.
Cheater mode, yeah.
The purple
hold on.
stuff there is kind of cheater mode. It'll give you the heading and distance to the incident site roughly. You do still have to do some, your own search. That'll get you, those coordinates will get you within a mile or two of the site, but you've still got to do your own actual search.
Okay. I'll do the normal takeoff here.
No problem. And
Stay
this
low,
is
build up
great.
some speed.
We've got ATC turned off. Normally you would then switch over to COM1 and dial up ATC and get your takeoff clearance.
Right.
And
Which I
you
haven't
still
done.
have to, no, we it's okay. We've got some people who love having both going on. We've got other people who say, look, my brain can handle one set of comms at a time. But in the real world, HEMS operations, those guys are talking to ATC and their dispatcher and their crew all at the same time. So if you want the full workload, it's there for you. You can talk to Andrea back there anytime you want. Yeah, she and Patrick are going to be the ones that you deploy once you get near the incident site.
Cool. So I can.
Hey,
just
we got
do- Go ahead.
You say, we got somebody in your chat there. Red Baron 99 says, I think he says he's a SAR navigator and now watching intently. Yeah, so forgive
Wow.
us if we get any of this phraseology wrong. We've tried to get it as close as we can.
So I'm going to ask, hey, Andrea, everything okay in the back? I think I got the right intercom for that. I think I got her on intercom too.
Oh yeah.
And I think they
Is
said,
it two?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's one.
I didn't see your setup, so.
Hey, Andrea, everything okay in the back? Let's see what happens. I used intercom one that time. I think they said the
Everything
heading...
is good in the back. Thanks for asking. Just focusing on the flight
that's
ahead.
me. No, I'm still the mentor on. I think the. I
Oh,
think
you're talking to. Yeah, that explains.
So Andrea should be on intercom too, right?
Yeah, try it.
So I should be able to hit this one here. Hey, Andrea, everything okay in the back? See what happens. I think they said the heading was 025. I think.
It looked like 025, yeah.
Yeah,
And by
so
the way, that's
somewhere around
not
this one.
registering, so you may have the wrong button mapped for
Okay.
channel 2. Or we can move the crew around, move them to 1, or whatever
Right.
you want to do here.
So there's Sunnybrook. I think you mentioned Sunnybrook already, and there it is. It's right ahead of us, and that's the real Sunnybrook Hospital, you guys. It's right along the Don Valley Parkway.
Is
I know
that-
this
is
area
that
well.
where-
This is where I live.
Is that where we're bringing the mission?
Yeah, that's what
when
they
we're-
mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, Sunnybrook Medical Center.
CNY8,
This part
yeah.
of it, to me, this took so much work to get right.
I would
we had
bet.
to find.
It's just amazing you can actually make that happen, right?
Yeah, and by the way, it will match the hospital with the incident. So if you need a level 1 trauma center for your incident, you will generally get a hospital with a level 1 trauma center, just as an example. And we also had to do all kinds of crazy stuff to get, making sure the hospital had a heliport and, things like that. There was a lot that went into this.
So it's funny though. This is metropolitan Toronto, you guys. This is a few million people, and it's mentioning about a snowboarder. So it's like, wait a minute, this is not the mountains further north, about 2 hours. This is right in the heart of the city. There's a snowboarder in trouble.
Is there? But it took.
I think that was the scenario, right? Wasn't it a snowboarder?
It
Well,
was a
maybe it is further
snowboarder.
north. I don't know where it is. Right?
But you're going, you got further to go than you think. It's sending
Oh,
you
okay.
because you're in the middle
We're
of
almost
the
there, Captain. Both
metropolitan
Donald and
area.
Cynthia are stable. Once we're on the
It's
pad,
sending
we'll hand
you
them
out
straight
a
over to
little
the
bit,
waiting
and I
medical team.
think you're gonna go. It was a ways,
Oh, it was okay.
like it was like 40 or 50 kilometers.
Oh,
yeah.
it was okay. I better speed it up. Yeah, I got this thing almost maxed for speed.
Yeah, this slew mode is my cheater.
Is that
go
right?
to, but yeah, oh yeah, don't tell anybody.
Well, there's when you say, are you actually doing like slew mode in 2020, or are you doing like sim rate?
No,
Because
I
if-
actually will. When I'm doing my debugging, I slew.
I
So
see.
I'll like quickly move to the incident.
Because I did
it's
some
cheap.
testing yesterday on this slew rate. I keep hearing about it in Facebook, and people are using it to cheat on the missions, right? In 24.
Oh,
They're on some
okay.
long 6-hour mission, and they'll put the the sim rate up. So I went in to look at that to see what it was like, and it was nuts. I mean, you're going to get passengers that don't like it because it'll bounce you all over the place, right? So it looks like this. If you can watch my screen here, I'm going to increase it by 1, 2, 3. All right, watch what happens if I do the slightest little movement on my stick. It's just nuts. I can't stay there like that. And now we'll go back to normal. I mean, that was panic, you guys. I mean, it's like, and you'll get
Oh,
a
wow.
0% on customer sat when you're taking a passenger, and the passenger will, oh, it's never been this bumpy before, and all these other complaints, and you'll actually see your results at the end will be 0% on customer sat. And if you have parcels, you'll get a 0% on the parcels being bounced around, right? So the sim rate thing. Maybe it's good if you got autopilot on and you're on a transport flight and it's pretty steady, but even then it kind of bounces around.
So
Yeah.
the text there in purple on your EFB
Right.
will guide you in there if you're generally
So let's bring that up on the bigger screen here for us.
Yeah, the real world course of action here would be, okay, they gave me some GPS coordinates that'll get me within the area.
Well, that'd be
You would
interesting on
pull-
how to use those coordinates, though, right? Like
Yeah, so you'd pull those up and put them into your your navigation computer as your
incident
destination,
site,
right?
Heading 030. There's the drop off, CNY.
You can also
it's
add
all
it
right
to
there
the
on the
nav
screen.
map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess a little nav map, right? Yeah. This is Buttonville Airport we're coming up on, you guys, which has now been plowed under. P Delta Bravo's in chat right now too. He knows this area too. And I'll also ask, hey Andrea, you still alive back there after that sim rate adjustment?
Halfway to
funny.
Monty.
Did you say I'm halfway there, Mike? Is that what you're saying?
I'm halfway to see Monty,
You're halfway to see Monty. Okay.
our lost
That'd be
giraffe.
interesting, yeah. Once on scene, assess medical needs and perform a safe extraction. So you're saying in your directions, you're saying don't land, right? That's what you're saying, Brian. You're saying stay in the
let's
area,
see.
tell them we see
Once
it.
on scene, got a visual, confirm readiness for extraction.
Right.
I don't know. I gotta go look.
So how would I know? Like, is it even some kind of indication, or I have to go to an exact GPS coordinate and then get down low?
No,
this?
so
You'll find out in a second.
Okay. So Andrew, you've
Because
seen it?
I know what Brian was hinting at earlier because I've been following it on Discord, so I've seen some of the things that they're messing around with. But I'm not going to say any more than
Okay,
that.
I think
'cause-
it's this way. I wasn't even looking at my heading, you guys. I think it says the 030 or something like that. 035? Yeah. I wasn't even going that way. All right. There's Markham
Yeah,
Airport,
you're,
which is a single strip airport right there. Somewhere out this way. And this probably is about well, it's in kilometers in Canada, but this is probably about 20 miles,
Yeah, you're
maybe
get-
25 miles so far.
you're getting there. One thing we probably could have done differently or better is staging the beginning of this, in a search and rescue-ish scenario location. There's a few that are a lot of fun. Sedona's really fun, and if you want maritime rescue, the coast of Florida is a lot of fun, et cetera,
Oh,
et
yeah.
cetera. So, yeah, staging your starting location based on the type of mission that you want will go a long way towards, making sure that you get something that's fun and believable.
Cool.
Your scenario here is a little odd in that you're going to go rescue some snowboarders from somewhere that.
Well, it might be.
a
It's
little
out
odd for
further
that,
in the
but-
countryside now, so there's
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no
I haven't
hills yet,
looked.
but
I haven't looked, but just these are just general hints for your viewers who decide they want to go try this out. Good way to stage the starting point.
Right.
That's my fault for not saying it earlier. So
but
that's
I
okay.
think
This-
the one point
look
you
at the
did make-
visuals here.
I know, I just love it.
So
So
cool.
This is what it's like in Canada right now. I mean, what have I got down
So
here?
cool.
What is that? Interesting. Oh, it's just houses with sunlight. Okay.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love the visuals in 24. I just I'm amazed at you guys, and there's certainly lots of things people know need improving, but man, I just saw P Delta Bravo up in the air, and Paul is from this area too. You guys, P Delta Bravo is also from the Toronto area. He and I have met at Buttonville Airport for coffee before they actually destroyed it. So yeah, we know this area well. And Stouffville, yeah. Been in there lots of times. I did a diversion to Stouffville once. I got memories here, so plenty of memories here.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting close. You're about 8 or 9 miles out. Would be my
Okay,
guess.
and then we'll see what happens from there. I'm already impressed. The fact that it came up with all of this, and enough to go back to Sunnybrook. I mean, it's just that's real. We see the orange helicopters doing rescues, probably from an accident on the highways or something, going over to Sunnybrook and landing. I mean, we see that over our houses in this area. So that's a real thing that happens.
Well, and it's worth pointing out. You mentioned there were tons of hospitals in that area, and yet it picked the one that was most likely to deal with something like this. And
it's the closest to them. I mean, we're out this far. Sunnybrook's the first hospital. You got to go downtown to get the others that have heliports, right?
Right.
There's one in North York, but I'm not sure if that's here in the sim. But I mean,
in our testing, we were experiencing things like if it involved a child, it was sending them to a children's hospital and things like that. It was really quite cool. We gave the AI a lot of latitude here, and we've still got a few issues we're cleaning up as a result of that latitude that we give it. But part of the just the immersion that comes with this is because of that latitude that we give it, allowing it to make the decisions about the incident site and the hospital and the what does the scene look like, and a lot of that really is why it's so cool. But every once in a while it goes slightly off the rails and you get something a little odd.
I just took the tablet down for a minute so I can get a better visual of what's going on around here, but this is amazing already. I don't know what to expect when I get there, but the fact that it can actually do this and figure it out and make it pretty, so far the realism is there. When Rad mentions in chat that, and his niece's husband, oh no, that's not it. Rad says there could be a snowboarder behind a snowmobile. And I've seen that in Canada also.
That's true. I've
done lots of snowmobiling in my life. I've done skiing and snowboarding and ice fishing and all the rest of it. I could tell you stories of that.
Yeah. We've all done those kinds of stupid things.
Yeah, and we're still alive to talk about it. So
that's right.
All right, I think I'm a bit. And
you're getting real close here. You're probably 3 or 4 miles out, would be my guess.
Okay. There's going to be some type of indication. There won't be smoke because they wouldn't have a safety kit with
probably not.
So you wouldn't be able to have
not
that
smoke anyway. I don't know anybody that packs smoke. So
right. Well, I mean the flare that looks like orange smoke, like they do in 24. I've done helicopter missions here in 24 where you look on the side of the mountain and you finally see this little bit of orange smoke. We just say orange smoke, right? But
the smoke is interesting. We came up with something a little different. You're about 3.5 miles out. You'll see it here in a bit.
I'm starting to get annunciator lights here, so I guess I'm pushing it too hard. But
that's all right.
Yeah, I'm starting to lose control here. Holy moly!
Yeah, we did some interesting things with the mission site. First of all, one of the things that I learned as we were building
I'm having trouble controlling it. I'm going to lose this helicopter.
Well, I wasn't going to make fun of you, but
yeah, I've lost control of it completely. There's nothing I could do to it.
Oh wow!
So I must have overstressed it without watching. And there is hills here. Look.
Yeah, look at that. Yep.
So there could be snowboarders.
So at this point, it's probably a good idea to just dispatch a second rescue mission to you.
Let me see if I can get it back up in here. No, I can't get any torque out of it. I must have over-torqued it while I'm.
All right.
We're on stream and we're having fun.
Listeners, it's up to you. Howard needs a rescue. Just call dispatch. Tell them you're ready to come in and pick him up.
Yeah. If I had a heli, I would have taken over. Yeah.
Start over from right there. You keep your mission going. You don't have to change anything related to that.
Right. But
if
what do you mean start over? Like I could do.
Meaning, can you reset the flight with a new heli from that spot? Just in the air is fine too if you want.
Yeah, I don't think if I do a restart, it takes me back to Toronto Island, right? But then I could probably just slew it over, like you said. Look at the visuals here. Holy moly. What do you guys think in chat?
We could do.
Rad's listening.
Look at that water.
Rad's listening on the guard channel, and he's going to do an overfly. Mayday, mayday, mayday. That is so funny.
We've toyed with a lot of that stuff, by the way. Like if someone fires off their ELT.
I'm so close to them. Now we need a second rescue. So.
Yep. Now we need another rescue.
Andrew's in the air. Are you near me, Andrew? I know. I see you're in the air.
I have no idea because all my tags have disappeared.
Okay, I'm right behind you, Howard. I found
behind
Monty.
Are you in a helo, Mike?
No, I'm in fixed wing, but I found Monty. He was behind you, so.
Really? Okay.
Oh, you
so-
found Monty? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
You
got
sure?
the
You
marker
sure?
going
You
off
sure
here.
Howard's rescue was for a snowboarder, not a giraffe?
I can't believe it
I'm-
let me come down in the trees. Like, I guess I slid down, but
I'm
That
dying
should-
to know. Did it have a giraffe when you got to the mission scene? Because it could. I'm curious if it
Right.
actually did.
No, not that. I see the red marker going up and
Oh, okay. All right. All
launching
right.
out there.
Okay.
let me just have a. I should have been watching.
I would not be surprised if there's a giraffe down there.
Yeah, we've seen them
Tell ya.
before.
Yeah.
I should have been watching engine instruments, you guys. Maybe because I sat at the runway for so long. Maybe I just ran out of fuel. You know?
Well, your fuel flow now is quite efficient.
Yeah,
That was a joke.
that's quite efficient. Yeah. Okay. I was reading my screen. I don't know if I can restart it. It seems like that's still actually rolling. Yeah, it's still rolling, but it doesn't really show me still rolling here. 12% on my N1. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, fuel quantity. Look at that. There's nothing. 0 kilograms. That's what it is. I ran out of fuel sitting at the airport for so long while we talked, right?
Well, that's okay. Let's. I'll tell you what. Let's do a shorter one. Pick a departure airport. Like I said, my favorite one in all the testing we've done has been Sedona. You'll end up picking someone up in
Okay,
a
let's do that,
canyon,
yeah.
and then they'll take you up to Flagstaff. And I know it's a dumb demo if it's a place I've
Do you know
tested.
what? That's
but-
interesting you mentioned those two places because I've been doing some flying in there just for practicing before I did a mission that was out of there.
Oh, you did?
24,
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's I can relate to it because that's where I was for the technical preview, right?
Oh yeah, you were in that area. Yeah, so this is cool. Sedona is one of the most scenic places in the entire world.
It's apparently a great Canadian snowbird resort area.
Yeah, that could be.
Apparently.
It would not surprise me. But it was the scenery. Sedona in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 looked out. It's Kilo Sierra Echo Zulu is the airport. In
wow.
2020, it's really bad. It just looks
Right.
absolutely awful.
Right.
But in 2024, they've really done
That's
a nice
beautiful.
job with it.
It's up there. On
I
that
think
little
there
flat
is
mountain there.
actually for 2020 there is an add-on for it.
There is, and it helps a lot. Yeah.
So
The fun part with Sedona is that's the airport you want to go to if you want to learn about mixture.
right because it's already up high.
Yep. You're about 4,500 feet on the ground. Yeah.
So Brad mentions in chat, you guys, which is interesting. I didn't catch it till now. He says he was listening on 1215, which is the guard frequency. That's the emergency frequency, you guys. He says your ELT has gone off with that landing. Tune your radio and check. Is that cool? I mean, I didn't do it at the time, but so Sedona, I forget the ICAO. I don't have it in front of me here.
Kilo Sierra Echo Zulu.
Okay. And there it is, Sedona. Beautiful. And we'll just go there and we'll make sure we get
Yeah.
lots of fuel this time.
And Sedona's untowered, so.
Let me just check my fuel here. Can I go back to here and flight performance and balance and fuel. And let's just fill that up. I thought I could use my cursor. Oh, I can't really. Okay, maybe Shift F. Nope, that doesn't work either. Well, I got 80, so okay, I got some. Good. I can't modify mass and balance at the moment. All right. Maybe I have to be on the ground to do it. Okay, let's start the flight. I just wanted to check and make sure my fuel was up there. It's a good lesson for doing missions in 24 also, you guys. You check your fuel. Sometimes it has just exactly enough, and then if you're going too fast, you'll run out of fuel. It happens.
That's one of the top complaints that I've seen from newbies flying the 2024 missions is they don't set their mixture properly and find out they don't have enough.
Absolutely.
Well,
And the second one is it leaves it like in real life. It leaves your fuel selector on the left on the left tank, and you're supposed to do that so that the fuel doesn't cross flow when they're filling up the tanks, right? When it's sitting there doing nothing. So it is actually true that when we finish with a 172, we're supposed to leave it on left or right, not both.
Right.
So there we go. Now go and
Now
ask
call
for-
SkyOps and pick up a mission, yeah.
to pick up a mission again. Okay. SkyOps dispatcher, this is helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. Give me a mission? No. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, that works.
I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
what do
not
I
that-
say next? Oh, yeah, give me a mission. I'd like a mission, please. Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? And let's just see what's going on here. You can see it right here, you guys. There's what I said right there. Yeah, and I
Oh,
said,
you sorry, I pulled a dirty trick on you. When we start up the sim, the system auto tunes your frequencies to the one you're most likely to
I'm not
need.
on it. Yep.
So if I moved you, the system moved you off frequency. Yeah, so click that 122.11.
122.11. There we go. Okay. SkyOps dispatcher. This is Helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. Requesting a mission, please. Bubble windows and doors. What? You've flown that helicopter, but it was an AS-350 at the time. That's cool. With bubble.
We have search and rescue, VIP transport, and cargo transport missions available.
There you go.
Let us know which one you'd like to take on.
All right. Search and rescue, please. 2, 3, 4. I'm just testing for you, Brian. 6, 7.
Oh, okay. So
we've got a winter backcountry rescue mission involving 2 snowboarders stranded with injuries. You'll need to proceed to the coordinates provided. Once on scene, assess medical needs and perform a safe extraction. Sunnybrook Medical Center is ready to receive both patients. Andrea and Patrick will support you for hoist operations. Contact me once you've got a visual on the incident site and confirm readiness for extraction. 48 kilometers northeast of the airport. Rough heading is 025. Located near latitude 44.05 and longitude -79.23.
So now it's kept the same, the old one, right?
So this is my fault. We need to hit that new flight button. We got to start over.
Yeah, and you know what? Your instructions on your website says make sure you say new flight. So you already said it on the. No, I want to mention in here
giant red letters. Yes.
This is really this is really cool, Brian, because look, it puts it in kilometers, which is Canadian, right?
Correct. And now it's going to switch it all to miles.
Is that cool?
Now you're in the
that
US,
is, many wouldn't even notice that either. But anyway, I should have done new flight, you guys. So
you're right. No, you know what? First of all, I love that you noticed that detail because that's the kind of stuff that we're paying attention to as well.
Yeah, I got it right away. Yeah. So I did new flight. It should come up with a window first, right?
It's going to come up, and it's also going to change your frequency back to the wrong one again, and
and then always remember.
Sorry about that.
So I'll get in the habit. Always say new flight, and then switch it over to the SkyOps frequency.
New flight, SkyOps.
Spread the word, and there's your other message there. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Monty's trailer overturned and is on the loose again. Oh, jeez.
Oh, no.
Full fuel, full payload, no problem. Yeah, Rad. That's it. Okay, let's see. SkyOps dispatcher, this is Helicopter Fox, Lima Tango Fox, requesting a new mission, please. See what happens. And it should be in miles now.
So much better. Yeah. Now we're going.
Now we're going. Yeah, now it's going to happen. That's cool. That is really cool, Brad, that you've flown this helicopter. It's such memories, right? And the bubble windows will let them see out better, you guys. They'll see, a wider, like 270-degree kind of.
Which one is this? The 125?
This is the H125.
And
remember when I asked the mentor about it, and the mentor said that it's also known as the AS350, or it actually said that. The mentor told us that information, right? Now Rad's just saying he was in that actually, AS350. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting. It's still chugging away on your mission here.
It's working
GPT-01, and like I said, in the normal, well, I'll shut up and let it give you your mission.
And P Delta Bravo's with me. He's with me. He's there. That's cool. We can still do the multiplayer thing. Okay, here we go.
We've got a new situation, and it has your crew's name written all over it. We just received word of a rockfall incident in a rugged canyon. The victim, Nicholas, is pinned by a boulder and has severe leg injuries. Sedona Medical Campus, IKO 5AZ8, has been alerted and is standing by to receive the patient once you have him on board. Andrea and Patrick are ready to assist, same as on your last mission. The site is 10 miles north of the airport. Rough heading is 340. In the general area of latitude 34.9er and longitude -111.81. Prepare for departure and keep us posted on your progress. We're sending your crew over now. You can expect to be airborne in a few minutes.
Way cool.
Yeah, this is...
And here comes the siren sound. Okay, that'll probably be the crew, right? Or no?
That's the crew. That's in real search and rescue ops. That sound, is to alert the crew that there's an incoming call.
See, I'm getting better at this already, even though I haven't had a complete mission yet.
Hello, sir. I'm your rescue tech, Andrea, and this is our flight medic, Patrick.
Andrea's
We're
talking.
gearing up back here. Give us a minute.
Give us a minute, she says. Cool.
This will be good.
Yeah, this is great. Now, normally we would be closing in on finishing the stream at this time, Brian, but you know,
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
can't do. No, don't you be sorry.
We rambled.
You know, like
That was the point.
that was the point. I wanted you on here just to relax and enjoy the stream with us, right? And tell us about stuff, and that's pretty cool. Look, there's Paul landing beside me there. I'm glad you're here, Paul, because I could run out of gas and have to ditch the thing in the
Yeah,
middle
might
of
have
the trees,
to pass
right?
the mission off.
That's
That's right.
right.
Hey, yeah.
All
We
right,
should
sir,
have had
Patrick
you
and I are
put
ready.
that. We
Let's
just
move
got
out.
it. One of our wonderful customers created a SayIntentions SkyOps livery for the H125.
Oh, nice. I'll have to go get it.
I should have had it in your hands for this. Yeah, that would have been cool.
I got the go-ahead from Andrea that we're ready. So,
Let's go.
Off we
yeah,
go.
Let's go.
and
Off
I
we go.
think they said 025. I think. Oh, I can look on my screen. Heading 340. Okay.
340.
That's pretty much where I'm headed already.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
270.
one of the nice things about
33,
Sedona
34.
is it's small.
So what people don't realize, it's sitting up on like a flat mountain, you guys, and look at, I'm already at 5,000 feet, right?
Yes.
And the visuals in here, you guys, play with the lights. Wait till you see the visuals. I better focus on where
So
I'm supposed to
cool.
go here. 340.
We're almost at Sedona Medical Campus now. Medical team is ready for
Alright.
immediate handover. Let's
That's
bring him in
about it.
gently.
Bring him in gently. It's a song by Burton Cummings. Oh no, that's Break It to Him Gently. Okay. What am I at?
You're about 9 miles out, and yeah, if you're on 340, it's going to be just on the other side of those rock formations, I think.
All right. And it really is beautiful here, you guys. You don't have to take my word for it when you take a look at the visuals. I'm leaving it on the outside view so you can see what's going on, but
It's unbelievable.
unbelievable. I've done a couple of helicopter flights in here and a couple of missions, and it's just amazing. You can tell right now it's going to be my favorite mode for doing missions.
I watched a video this afternoon from Av Angel, and she was comparing going to the Grand Canyon in the sim right now to what she saw when you guys were there in August for the pre-release video things you guys all went to.
Right.
She said it was, and I was watching, and as she came over the ridge and could see the canyon proper, she said she said it was the same. She had the same reaction there in the sim as she did
The big deep breath
in the
as you go over
real helicopter coming over the ridge and watching the canyon drop away in front of you.
The Grand Canyon in 2020 was terrible, and it is absolutely incredible in 2024. They did a wonderful job with it. So you're 7 miles now.
All right. Let's put the pedal to the metal. 132. Oh, pretty maxed out now. Yeah, it even stops going any further. Okay.
Yeah, you're cooking for that H125. That's for sure.
Just work it. You know, my handle is Firewall. That's my handle, Brian.
I like it.
So yeah. And then Twitch viewers gave me that handle because in our group flies, I was always, back when I was flying a 172 overpowered engine kind of float plane, I was always way ahead of them. I keep forgetting once you get to cruise, you got to throttle back, right? So they started calling me Firewall, and that's kind of stuck, right?
Yeah, he was flying the Boogaloo 172 on floats, which has a 250 horsepower engine in it instead of the 180 that the rest of us were flying.
Didn't have the
4
red
miles.
beacon flying up from the surface. Oh,
You can see why this terrain is particularly interesting from a search and rescue
We're coming up on the
standpoint.
canyon area now. Eyes sharp. This should be it.
eyes sharp. This should be it. Okay, I got to move this out of the way. Okay.
So
eyes
this is
sharp.
where you most likely are going to want to slow down a little bit and actually start searching. And what was interesting, a nod to our folks here that are live who are search and rescue people, because when we were building this, we were looking at scenarios like this, and we would put people down on the ground, to go find, which is what we've got here. Watch the headings and the distances and things like that, because it'll get you in there.
I'm just going to
But
do a quick search here. So,
in all seriousness, crazy respect for you guys who do this in real life, because it feels impossible. when you're in the sim. You look at the ground and you look at everything going on, and you're like, they could be right underneath me, and I wouldn't see them.
Right.
And yeah, it's really, really, really cool how difficult that job really is.
Oh, maybe I
How
should move.
frustrating it must be.
Maybe I should move as I get closer to the higher parts. All right, I did a sweep. Oh, I wanted to get back to 340, which is probably around here. It might not be on this side of that hill, so I'm just going to
Double check your purple letters there, and it'll give you a sort of distance and
Oh, yeah.
heading as a
Right.
cheat. Yeah.
Right.
But if you're in this in real life, you know, and you're searching around this area, you go, gosh, we think they're within 2 miles of these coordinates. And man, you would just look at this
So-
and go, how would I ever know? You know,
What am I reading there? It says 2M.
2
heading-
miles,
oh,
360.
Oh, okay. 2 miles, 360. All right. Ah, okay.
You get
Let's
a
go.
little further in there, and you'll be
Yeah.
on top of it.
Let's go in here. Ooh, pushing it too hard again. Firewall. Okay. Down this way. This is exciting. Oh, look at that. I really moved it. 2 miles. It must be right around here.
2
We got-
miles, 005.
See, I got to read that. See, 005. Wow. It's gonna be over here. I'll bet this is in real life. They're gonna have a lot of these types of scenarios because people just go out there with all that enthusiasm and then they get lost.
It's got to be
hurt.
nonstop. Yeah, in real life out of Sedona, yeah, this has got to be all they do. 1.4, or was that 1.8?
1.8. Yeah. I
looks
see.
like
So-
055.
Okay. 055. Oh.
Is the 055, Brian? Is that magnetic, or is that relative to?
I think it's magnetic compass.
Did you say
Check it.
055? Like 55? No.
No, I'm sorry. It would help if I could read the screen with
Heading
my
350.
old eyes.
Okay, I see 350.
sorry
Okay,
about that.
Sorry,
That's my fault.
I should be reading it. It's cool that you put that right in the tablet. That is nice.
Well,
I
we
just gotta
stuck it
watch what I'm
there
doing here.
to
Okay.
cheat a little bit. Of course, in real life, a rescue pilot wouldn't have that. But boy, there's no wonder it takes them hours, days, weeks to search, because it's
Is his crew looking
very
too?
difficult.
1.2. Would the crew spot them? Or would
The
Andrew
crew
say
will
something?
sometimes spot them and say something. Yeah, sometimes they will. Mhm.
So let me
But yeah,
just-
they're definitely helping you. But you can ask them. Say, where is it from here? If you want to cheat.
Hey, Andrea, where is it from here? Let me just get... I got to figure this out. Heading 1.2 at 345. I'm nowhere near 345. I'm almost exact opposite. So let's come back this way.
We very much recommend any outdoors people buy a PLB,
Yeah.
personal
I bet.
locating beacon.
Yep. So...
And I will tell you,
3, 4,
even
5, right
with-
about there, and then another mile and something. So it's probably over that ridge.
It might be.
And the one above it, 10% chance of finding a target with one searcher, pilot / navigator in a 172 on a single pass under perfect conditions with no coordinates. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, real close to 0. Yeah, 10%. Yeah, that's probably
Wow,
about right.
this is so like the Grand Canyon. This type of foliage at the top.
It's great, isn't it? It's amazing.
Amazing.
Trees growing out of the rocks like that. So cool.
Nature will find a way. Wait a second, I just saw a flare. Is that a flare?
You did.
I saw a flare. I can't
Yes,
believe
you
Look
it.
did.
at that. Look at that flare. What kind of cool search and rescue program would put a flare in like that? That's amazing.
That is amazing. 0.8. Okay, there's the flare right there. I see it. You guys see it? Is that cool or what? I don't know about the air accessing live air traffic. I'm gonna have to. It's probably my settings are on live traffic and they shouldn't be. It's probably my problem. Right? 0.5 away. Heading 255. Okay, 25. No, 355. Okay, so pretty much like this. And I'm going to come up on it pretty quick here. I'm going to slow it down a bit. Get down a little lower. That is cool. What if you use 01 for mission and 01? Okay, I can't read all that while I'm trying to fly here.
I think that's for Brian anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Now in real life, that flare will stop once you're within the vicinity, right? They're going to stop shooting flares in the air because they'll be
Right.
like, oh, they saw me. And what's funny is you look at that and you go, I still don't see you.
All right,
so
it's still 0.3. Okay. And 170. Okay, so I went over them. That's behind me. Okay. I get it. I missed them.
yeah, throw it into hover there and swing back around. And at this point, though, you know the rough location. You could always drop the ground crew and say, go find them.
Oh,
right?
really?
Mm-hmm.
I
And
see the
that's,
flare right
you know,
here.
you can do that. He's still in the air, still going.
Great. There's the flare going up. I'm coming up on it right here. It says 0.7. 170. Yeah, it's right back. There it is. I see it. Okay, so I guess because it's this time of day, you guys, it's harder to actually see the ground, right? So
Yeah,
that's gonna
easier
be-
to see the flare, harder to see the ground. Exactly. Uh-huh.
It's going to be right around here. 0.5 it says. All right, there. I see it coming up.
You've
And there is
got
actually a clear spot too.
Yeah, I was going to say, Howard, you have a professional SARTAC helping you from chat.
I can't read chat, you guys, or else I'm going to flip the helicopter or something.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
have seen
that's-
that before. Sometimes they sabotage me, Brian. Look at the flare
Yeah.
right now.
Well, that's the funny part is you said, oh, I see a clearing ahead, and about 10, 20 seconds before that, Brad had typed clearing ahead in chat.
Oh, did he? Okay. So
Yeah.
thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. I just can't read while I'm flying, so I've messed
And
up.
even Andrea's
I've
said
messed
we're
up,
coming on it now.
flights before by reading chat while I'm trying to fly. So right about there. So I'm supposed to tell the dispatcher, I think. I'm supposed to say I found them.
Yeah,
right?
you don't have to, but yeah,
Oh.
I mean, dispatch would
Wow,
probably
look at
appreciate
that.
it.
When you're close, it really is bright. It looks like a little clearing right here.
That's probably where I would land. Yeah, and by the way, this is yeah.
But you
so
mentioned I
get a
shouldn't
little
be
close.
landing, but we got to pick them up, right? So I got
You can. Yeah. Yep. This
Wow.
is where it gets a little bit sort of choose your own adventure, right?
I
Do you
don't know what
wanna
the wind
do-
is, but I'm going to just turn to here and just see. Oh,
Probably,
I see
yeah.
something over. I see writing over there. All right, let me just come over top of it and just see what it looks like. Oh, that's P Delta Bravo. Sorry, he came in. Oh wow, I just got hit by a flare. Helicopter
Stop
down
shooting.
again. Stop shooting! I'm here.
Yeah, and that's going to be another bug. They're supposed to stop once you get a little closer. Stop
Right.
shooting those
All right,
flares
let me
up.
just get this thing under control. Yeah, I'm in the right place. Okay, here we
Guys,
go.
for those watching this and going, oh, bug. This thing is brand new. there's not much going on, and it looks like. I'm gonna look at your incident site there.
Wow. Yeah, I'm right near them.
What's there? Okay, that'll work. Go ahead and sit down. Tell the crew to
Yep.
get out.
Okay, crew, we're here. Cybok has full faith in me, right?
I don't think they heard you. Is your intercom still set up?
It should
what
be
it was
on.
before?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe not. Yeah, let's just do a quick check. Intercom. Channel 2 was SkyOps, Andrea. Yep, Channel 2 still. All right.
Oh, I thought we moved her to 1. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh,
what
we
was-
never did get that working. We weren't able to talk to him before, and then we kind of abandoned it and restart the mission and all that other stuff. So we never did fix that. They're talking to you, but they've yet to hear you. Let's
Oh,
just
okay.
move them to 1, just because we know that one's all set up right.
Okay.
Sorry, this is our more live troubleshooting thing, but that's okay.
So here, and my Channel 2 was SkyOps, Andrea, and they were talking to me, but I guess I haven't. I did ask her. Was it the last mission? If they're okay back there. All right.
I don't remember.
Anyway, let's give it another try anyway. Maybe I was pushing the wrong one, but
Okay.
hey, Andrea, you okay back there? It's
Yeah,
not
no,
registering
didn't
here.
pick
is
it up. It's
Yeah,
not. It's almost like
picking
it's
up.
not registering the button.
Yeah, maybe I've got to do.
That's okay. Just like I said, I would just move it to 1 and
Yeah,
call
move to
it
1.
a day.
Yeah, let's do that. And we'll just Channel 1, make it. Oh, I can't.
So you'll have to go to 2 and then
Oh, get rid of it on 2. Okay. I
get
got
rid of it. Yeah, because you can only
Got
have it on. Yeah.
Disable that, and then here, got it. Can't talk to both. Good. And let's put Andrea back in there. Hey, Andrea, you okay back there? Whoops, wrong button. Hey, Andrea, are you okay back there? That one did. That one worked. I could tell by the
Yes.
sound in my ears. Yeah.
Much better.
Hey, Howard, we're all good back here. Patrick and I are ready to roll whenever you are. Just give us the word when it's time to deploy.
Tell us when it's time to deploy.
Okay, Andrea. Here's the word. She told me to give her the word.
All right, Howard, we're ready to deploy when you give the clear. Just waiting for your go-ahead.
Bert, I wasn't sure if that was going to work or not. It doesn't look like it did.
Okay, Andrea, we're clear. You can go get the patient.
There you go.
Wow.
Roger
So this
that,
is-
Howard. Patrick and I are heading out now to get Nicholas.
Cool.
Stand by for
There's
updates
talking.
once we've
Yeah,
secured
this is part
it.
of what's so cool, right? Is oh, there are people moving around in there. Yeah. You look in those trees, see those people walking around in front of you?
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There are.
Yeah, yep.
Look at this. It's hard to see you guys. I didn't notice it at first. It's kind of in.
Yeah.
I wonder if I get a better angle here.
So
There's
certainly
so
a
much
bug on the
stuff from the helicopter.
on the
right?
flare,
There's a person
that's-
right there in a
yeah.
blue shirt, tan
Yeah.
pants.
That's kind of cool, isn't it?
Kind of disoriented, but you know, we'll get him in the helicopter and strap him in. That's pretty awesome. So you injected
Yeah.
the flare, then you also injected a person, right? And they're going to go grab him and put him on a stretcher and bring him in. That's pretty
Right.
cool. That is, I'm going to be exploring with this more, and I will apologize in chat, you guys. I didn't practice any of this ahead of time. This is all brand new while we're here live on stream, so that's why I've been fumbling around a bit trying to make it work, but this is just
Howard,
awesome.
we've located Nicholas. He's conscious but has a suspected fractured leg and possible internal injuries. Patrick is stabilizing him now. We'll get him ready for transport shortly.
Thanks, Andrea. Awesome team.
That's cool, isn't it? So this is where it gets very
Thanks,
choose
Howard.
your own
We've got
adventure-ish.
Nicholas stabilized and ready for transport. We're heading back to the helicopter now. Stand by for boarding.
And what I mean by that is, you know, this could have gone a whole bunch of different ways. You could have done a hoisting, you know, they call it a rappelling insertion.
Right. Rappelling's
there's-
jumping out with a rope, yeah.
Yeah, you could have done all kinds of different things here to solve the problem, and the system doesn't care. It's not like you don't have to follow the script exactly. You just have to
Right.
sort of go through, you know, the main stages here, and they'll kind of follow along and you know go with the flow here. And this is one of the areas where you know, generative AI. Everybody likes to think ChatGPT, but where it really shines is sort of inventing and role playing in these scenarios. So it was kind of an obvious ad here. Here we go.
Howard, we're back on board with Nicholas. He's stable and ready for transport. Let's head to Sedona Medical Campus.
Super, Andrea, lifting off. It's like there's actually a person there.
Howard, Nicholas is stable and we're ready for transport.
You'll notice
Let's head
the
to Sedona
incident
Medical
scene
Campus.
is cleared. The people are gone. The flare stopped. Etc.
Howard, we're en route to Sedona Medical Campus with Nicholas. He's stable and ready for advanced
One of
care.
these days,
Let me know if you need any updates on his
MSFS will
condition.
be good enough that you can watch them load the patients and things like that. But for
Let's see where I am. I
that
think
day
it's
is
gonna
not
be
today.
south. Yeah, I think it's going to be south. Okay. We came north, pretty much north to get here, so I'm sure it's back this way. It'll show up in the, what's nice about 24, it'll show up in the heading indicator up top. It's a moving map. And if you're near an airport, you'll see that sort of red circle show up. But normally I'd have a moving map going. I think I could put that up on my tablet too, or a little map too. But that might be the POI up ahead. Looks like a helipad. That might be it there. All right, let's get this thing going. And afterwards, you guys, we're going to go take a look at Rad's real pictures, his in real life SAR pictures with the AS350, which is this helicopter. It'd be cool to see that. Wow, look at the countryside. I like the outside view when I want to see the scenery, right? Because without the, I do have head tracker here, but I never put it on stream, Brian, because it makes people dizzy. I'm looking
Sure.
over at chat, and I'm looking over at the stream, and I'm looking over at, and meanwhile, all they see on the stream is boom, 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 and they start getting dizzy, right? So I've learned to just
Right.
turn off my head tracker, and I've got Toby fully working now on here. I turn off my head tracker, and I just fly normally like this. But then, you know, if you're searching or whatever, you got to start looking around, right? The head tracker is definitely better when you're doing stuff like this. So I'm gonna have
Right.
some more fun with this.
Yeah, head tracker VR. It's a blast with this because you are like peeking out the windows, trying to see anything you can, and yeah, it's really really cool.
Let's just hope I don't overload the engine again. I think it was a fuel thing last time, but I'm looking at my torque right now. For those who don't know, by the way, if I didn't have to keep the stick forward right now, my trim isn't working for some reason, but I would normally press the Alt key and pop this one out and put it on one of my smaller screens that I have. And that way I've got a really close view of my engine instruments and make sure that everything's working right. But right now I'll just get there this way. I'm just holding the stick forward because my trim doesn't seem to be working. And it is a helicopter, you guys, so, you know, that's pretty much max, yeah, 140 knots, yeah. Oh, they got kilometers per hour on the airspeed indicator. Huh. Who knew? It doesn't feel like I'm going that fast, you know? I mean, look, P Delta Bravo just zoomed by me like I'm standing still. I mean, what's going on here? But that looks like the place we're going right there in front of us. Hopefully that's it. We weren't that far away.
Yeah. And again, it's interesting. It must not be that serious because it's taking you to Sedona Medical Campus. If it's a more serious situation, you end up going to Flagstaff Hospital, which is what they would do in real life. Yeah. Yeah,
and I think one of the missions I did, it was just a first flight kind of mission. It took me from Sedona to Flagstaff. So what I did was, to get my helicopter controls working properly, I actually went to free flight and did the same 2 cities just to make sure I could, you know, do it in a helicopter.
Oh wow!
And so
that's cool. Yeah,
that's
a
back
short
into the mission, and then everything worked right.
Short scenic flight for sure. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it was a longer flight than it should have taken because I just kept looking around. It's like, oh cool, let's go over here. Oh cool, let's go over there. And if you bring up the sun, you guys, you'll obviously see more of the relief here. You're seeing a more dramatic landscape because look at that, because of the nighttime, right? It's getting darker and darker.
That's cool. That's wonderful.
Pretty amazing.
It's just, those visuals are unbelievable.
Even the city up ahead, right? Looking great.
Absolutely awesome. I love this.
So I would normally have Little Nav Map running. I don't right now, but then I can get a better visual of things and see the trail and all the rest. And it makes it easier, you guys, if you can have Little Nav Map running.
There's a little cheater mechanism you can use here. Pull up the map on your EFB. This is actually a bug in 2024. There are no bugs in 2024, only features. So this is a feature in 2024.
And then go
if you pull up the map on there, what the feature is that if anybody injects any sim object into 2024 on the map, it actually ends up showing up as an airplane it shows up as traffic. So do you see that airplane?
The airplane symbol. I could get a bigger picture. Oh, right here. There we go.
Yeah, if you zoom out just a little bit, you'll probably end up seeing a marker for where the hospital is. Now remember, I'm looking at this just a couple seconds delayed here.
That's probably P Delta Bravo following me in behind me here. Let me just have a quick look.
But if you see...
Yep, there he is.
One of those markers that looks like an airplane is actually the hospital.
Oh, okay. That's probably exactly right ahead of me. And that's a hospital. Oh, that's the hospital looking like a... Yeah.
Yeah, because Microsoft has a wonderful feature where, again, if you inject a sim object, it shows up as an airplane on the EFB. So
it does not feel like I'm going 100 and some odd knots. I guess the altitude of that. So, P Delta Bravo says my helicopter's doing weird things in his sim. He's doing 60 knots and you're just jerking back and forth. Huh.
That's another feature. Maybe
it's the sim rate. I don't know. I did a demo earlier. Maybe I didn't get it back to normal sim rate. Yeah. I don't like using sim rate doubles and triples and stuff. I mean, it helps people finish their missions, but it just takes the fun out of it. It's not about the destination in the sim. For me, it's about the flying and perfecting the flying. So, yeah, that's part of it, right? So, Paul, we'll look at that later. We'll get it figured out. But, yeah, P Delta Bravo just keeps zooming right past me.
5 Alpha Zulu 8 is the ICAO of the heliport.
I've just kind of figured that might be it straight ahead because we are
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Or maybe there's one I'm missing right here. Look at that beautiful landscape. We get pretty close to some people here. So the same rules apply with helicopters. It's 1,000 feet above population and 500
That's
feet
the
above
hospital.
ground.
We're secured for landing.
Oh, really? That's the hospital? What? Or maybe they're
You're
saying...
getting
over
close is what it means. Yeah,
Oh,
you're getting close.
Getting close, right. Okay. Thanks, Andrea. I wouldn't have known.
The ever helpful Andrea.
Yeah, I'm starting
You're
to get
welcome, Howard. We're all set here, and
listen,
Nicholas is
you're
stable.
welcome, Howard.
Just let me know if there's anything else you need
That's
from
great.
us.
Yeah.
This is
Anything
so
else you need
nice.
from us? Okay, let's see. Rum and Coke when we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice relaxing
do that.
lounge. Yeah. Rules are suspended for SAR and medical flights if needed. I was going to ask that, Rad. It's funny that you came up with that statement. As I was thinking about that, I know with my helicopter lessons I've had, they said the same rules apply. But yeah, SAR, I can see SAR overriding those rules, right? I can see it.
Yes, and by the way, if our stuff already did this, and it was so cool to see it actually come alive. But if you call ATC and you explain, that's the airport that we're on top of there.
Yeah. Well, I see the helipad there. I'm going to go to the exact spot.
Yeah, that's fine. So it may or may not trigger all the things it needs to trigger, but that's okay.
It actually looks like it's on the runway, so okay, that's fine.
Well, the hospital helipad is certainly not at the airport.
Oh,
but
so maybe I got to go further.
yeah, or I think it might be behind you.
Oh, really?
And this is where it gets a little bit tricky because the MSFS navigation database actually doesn't have a lot of the heliports in it, and so something like the GTN 750 database or the G1000 database, those have them in there. And again, a real world pilot would sort of punch those into the nav system and fly right to it.
Well, if we just landed here, what would happen?
It'll role play with you.
Yeah, okay. So Andrea might say
Yeah,
it's
it'll
not
role
here,
play
Howard.
with you. Just tell them. Say, in fact, call dispatch and say you're gonna land at the airport instead of the hospital, and can they meet you?
SkyOps dispatch. This is helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. I'm going to land at the Sedona Airport instead of the helicopter. If you could meet me there.
That's perfect. This is what makes it so fun. You get to build. There's just no rules. Build it out. Do it your way.
Copy that. We'll meet you at Sedona Airport. Safe landing.
Sweet.
Isn't that cool?
Sweet. That is cool. I thought it was already down, but there we go. That is cool. All right, now. Hey, Andrea, they're going to meet us right here. That is amazing. It's getting pretty
Great,
dark.
Howard. We're ready to hand Nicholas over to the medical team. Mission complete once we land and transfer him.
That's it. That's great. Is that cool?
Yeah, so they're ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Here comes Paul. He's my backup this time in case I wreck the helicopter again. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. And Mike, I was gonna use your screen in case I messed it up again, but yeah, it worked out all right this time. So that is quite amazing, unbelievable.
So
Brian, I mean,
go ahead and
that just. Go ahead. You're going to make a suggestion.
let dispatch know you're done. Say the medical team's picked them up.
SkyOps dispatch. This is helicopter Fox Lima Tango Fox. SkyOps team has picked them up now. What did you say it was? SkyOps team, or what did you say?
Yeah,
What do you call? The hospitals, the ambulance crew is getting them.
Pick them up.
I think you just said we picked them up.
They're safe with the team, sir. Great job.
Thanks, Andrea. That is cool. That is neat.
Nicholas is now in the care of the medical team, Howard. Mission complete. Great work.
What a
few
team.
little things we
What
a few
a
little
team.
things we need to work out, but yeah, it's fun that you get that experience of sort of coordinating with the dispatcher and your rescue team, and if you decide you want it, also coordinating with ATC. The Flagstaff transit is interesting because you end up having to fly right through the Flagstaff Class Delta airspace, and so you have to coordinate the transition of that airspace, and of course VFR.
Right.
But yeah, they'll respond. They recognize that you're if you have a call sign like Medivac or rescue, etc., ATC will give you priority regardless. If you tell them what you are, then they'll give you priority just by you telling them, etc., etc. So
I
we've tried to
said
merge.
medevac instead of helicopter, right?
You could have done that, yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just like in real life, if your call sign is medevac and not helicopter, ATC uses that as a clue that maybe you need some priority.
Right.
Yeah, we follow the same rules. If your call sign is just helicopter, ATC doesn't really know, and we separate them. ATC doesn't know about your SkyOps mission unless you tell them, right?
That's cool. So I want to remind everybody in chat, in both our chats here on YouTube and also in Twitch, that this is not a 2024 mission, everybody. This is actually done all through SayIntentions, and we've got the intercom set up with the SkyOps team, and we've got my normal ATC button set up with the SkyOps dispatcher, and that's all laid out right on the website that talks about it on the SayIntentions site. And this whole thing was done with SayIntentions. This was not a 2024 mission. I want to mention that because some of you might have tuned in and said, "Oh, he's doing a mission." This is a SayIntentions mission. This is actually pretty cool. Yeah. And I got to do more. I got to do all of them. I got to do a transport mission. You know what, Brian? I'm going to end up turning this into a YouTube video. I'm going to post at some point. I'll fly it by you first and let you see what it looks like. But I got to do this, and people don't know this is happening, right? And it's just an amazing thing. I'm at Sedona.
The voices are wonderful as well. It just, it all
the interaction.
Talk to them.
Thanking Andrea, and she welcome. She says you're welcome, and what a great team and all. It's a real life stuff, right? While I'm here, I would have normally tuned, like I've got COM1, COM2. I would normally have tuned Sedona Airport and did the normal calls, because I'm talking to the SkyOps dispatcher, but I should also be talking to appropriate airspaces, right, as I fly through them. But that's just, I can make this even more real by tuning properly and using, and for those who don't know, and this is something Mike Audio in chat, he told me a while back when I was saying I don't have my Flight Sim Builder screen dials working yet until I do a firmware update. So he said, just click the frequency. And I didn't even realize how simple that would be. So when I wanted to do the SkyOps frequency to call the dispatcher, I just had to click it like that, and it put it up into the field. I didn't have to use hardware. I didn't have to go in and find the radios. In this helicopter, the radios are down in the console, and there's no view.
They are not easy to use.
There's no view. I mean, there's no view for that. In 2020, we had views that would snap down to the radios. But so this is like amazing that you would actually just be able to click that, and it would just go up into the active window. Just amazing. Anyway, I wish we had 6 hours, Brian. But
let's do it again. Let's do another one.
Let's do another
whenever
one.
You want. Yeah, whenever you want.
The expectation here tonight would be that we're done now, and some of them like we've got a few of them that are already heading out to dinner and doing all the rest. So
no,
not
now.
We're gonna do another one. If I can have you back again, and we'll let it ride for a while I do more practice and play. And have some fun with it,
fly a bunch.
And a bunch of us will do the same. Andrew's got it also, and Ace of Spades. I mean, the three of us who host the channel, we're going to go and do some, probably even in the multiplayer mode, and see how that works. And
I was just going to say, does that mean I need to get the multiplayer version of this working properly before?
No, at some point. I mean, we're not going to surprise you and put it on live on stream and say, "Whoops, it's not ready." We're not going to do that to you, right? So, but
no, it's okay. Look, the multiplayer stuff, as far as I'm aware, and your viewers will like this too. As far as I'm aware, it works. Everything is going. It's all there. We just haven't yet published how to do it. Right, that last little piece where we tell people that it's ready to use is technically it's all there. So if I just sent you, here's how you do it, here's the steps, you would go, okay, cool, great, and it should all work.
Right.
But you've
got it here. I read this just before the stream, just to okay. Maybe we're going to try this, right? And this is there in your SkyOps FAQ, right? And it's saying,
however, put the multiplayer in there.
I see what you mean, the multiplayer part, right? Yeah. But you do talk about everything. I mean, this is definitely the FAQ area is good. It's got all this stuff. Can I fly missions with friends right here?
Well, what does it say?
And yes, with an understanding that this is very alpha right now.
Oh,
right?
It is there.
Yep.
Oh, Chris did put the steps
and if you
there.
And your friend
there it is.
Fly
That's
a
how
mission
you do
together. Follow these steps. And look at that.
There it is.
We've got some playing to do. And in big red letters, always press new flight. You can't make it any redder or bigger, but yeah, it's like, okay,
that's all
Howard, read the text. Yeah, that's what I should have
And
done.
there's only one head pilot. That's important.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, some work to do. A few things that I'd like to clean up, and keep in mind this has been out for a very, very short amount of time, and we'll get cleaned up. But awesome. What I was gonna say is, this for me puts a big smile on my face every time I fly a mission. Like, this is such a great excuse to go fly, and a great excuse to jump in a helicopter or do something. And we support missions even for if you want to fly an airliner, go ahead, just tell it you want a cargo mission or something and it'll do it. If you want to fly a private jet, tell it you want a VIP transport, it'll set it up. And they're fun. And if you really want a little extra fun, choose one of the funny crew members.
Yeah.
Like Murph can be your rescue tech if you want. It's really fun.
Can't wait to do that.
Yeah,
That'll
it's
be fun.
neat.
That'll be a lot of fun. So Brian, I'm going to say, Andrew, any last comments, and then I'll hand it over to Mike for a second. Say any last comments you'd like to make before we finish the stream, but we will have to get rolling.
No, the only thing I would say, Howard, is you really have to watch their Discord. You would not believe the stuff. It's like I watch it every day, and it's like, okay, stop adding stuff. I'm falling behind again. It was like like Seb or Nick when they were getting ready to release the plane.
Right.
But we all had the betas.
Yeah.
And it was like every other minute there was a new beta.
Yeah,
It's like
I know.
Brian's like this when they're adding features left, right, and center.
I
It's
can't
crazy.
get at it every day, but when I do, Andrew goes, by the way, Howard, you got to update the client again. So, I mean, this is a good sign, you guys, because that means they're staying on top of things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, one good thing, I'll just mention this at the end here, is the client itself is relatively thin. There's not much capability inside the client
Right.
itself. The download is like 25 megabytes, right?
Yeah.
It's tiny. And all of the search and rescue stuff, all of the SkyOps stuff was added without changing the client at all. We didn't make we didn't have to push out an update to the client at all, and all of a sudden SkyOps was working. So
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I was just going to say, it's not specifically updating what we have on our PCs. It's just like, oh, God, they've added something else to the thing. There's another feature and another feature. And it's like, it's going to take a week to figure this out again.
yeah.
It's just the stuff that you guys do as a group is just, wow.
It is phenomenal, yeah. And we're proud, and we're also honored to be to be able to say that we're a partner with you guys, and that we've actually followed you from the start when this thing was.
You have. You guys.
We'll say it was raw. I didn't, even at the time, I didn't call it raw, but you do, Brian, because you know what's been involved.
I do.
But we've been following it from the start, and we're just so enthused about it. So.
Yeah.
Well, I love our partnership. You guys were the first people to ever show our stuff. I make time for you guys anytime. You've always been very kind to us, and I appreciate it. Really, thank you for having me on. It means a lot to me.
You're welcome, Brian. It's been a pleasure, and we'll have you on again soon. That'll be great, and we'll have some fun again while Howard fumbles around.
Oh, Howard, I'm supposed to ask you. I can ask you when we're done. I'll ask you when we're done. I've got a question for you. Okay.
All right. And Mike, did you have anything last minute thing to say? You're on voice still, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You've
No,
got some great comments you put into chat, but anything you'd like to say on voice before we go?
Yeah, no, that was the main thing. That SkyOps is such a game changer there for even anybody who doesn't want to do ATC. It's you make a mission and then you keep building upon that mission if you want. You can crash the plane and build upon that mission if you want. So unlike the ones in a sim that are just so rigid and no leniency, you make it what it is. If you get off course a little bit, you just deviate back onto there and keep continuing.
Well, you guys
by the way,
I didn't do an exact heading. I had to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to mention your crew will remember you too.
Yep.
So
Is that
when
right?
if you pick up another mission, they may or may not say, good to see you. Last time we were. Last
really?
time,
Yeah.
We did this, or
cool.
even the dispatcher will say, "I'm sending Mike," or Andrea and Mike, or Andrea and Patrick. I'm sending Andrea and Patrick. You worked with them a few days ago.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
It's really cool.
I mean, that is so
really
real,
cool.
right? It's like, wow, you remembered.
That's
Yeah,
not
that's
surprising, Brian, based on the fact you guys have your controllers doing that.
We do. We have the ATC
for
controllers doing it as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We do.
That is really cool. So Surly Dev says, thank you for coming on the stream tonight and showing this. This is fantastic. And I think one other person there said they're a new customer for you. I think it's scrolled by already. You've got a new customer.
Who was that?
That was
Did I
Paul.
miss it?
P Delta Bravo.
Well,
He's also from Toronto, yeah.
Paul, thank you.
He
That
says
means
you
a
have
lot to me.
customer and me because of it. Yeah.
That means a lot to me.
I
Thank
didn't-
you.
I didn't know it could do all this either, you guys. This is amazing, and so I got lots more to do. Super duper.
I've been following it on the Discord and reading it. I haven't tried it yet. It's kind of been busy the last couple of days, like
Where
most
do we
of us
go
have
from
been
here?
with Christmas and such. But
Yeah, Andrew, try adding like 30 more channels to read. Too.
Andrew, did you hear it, Shirley Dev? Andrea just said, "Where do we go from here?" Andrea, just stick around for the credits, and the song
There
will
you
play
go.
for you. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we're going to head to credits, and I thank you
Ha
very
ha
much.
ha.
Ron.
Thanks, Howard. I'll definitely
Thanks.
stick around for the credits. Looking forward to hearing Into the Wild play. Rock on.
She said, "Rock on!" Oh my God, what a great way to finish it! Is that cool or what? Yeah.
That's funny.
That is funny. Rock on. Okay. Going to credits. Thanks, everybody, for hanging in there. We're into overtime, but I really appreciate your patience, everyone. Well, we had so much fun. I mean, we're going to do it again. So take care, everyone. We'll see you soon. Group Fly Saturday. Let's go have some fun. And we'll see you again. Take care.
I don't know.